This broadcast of Kalamazoo Wings hockey is also brought to you by WSI Talent, Schupan & Sons, U.S. Cryotherapy, Zemlick, and ECHL TV. It's game time. Let's head back to the press box. Here's the voice of the K-Wings, John Peterson.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Good evening, everybody. John Peterson here with you on AM 1660 The Fan and ECHL TV. The Kalamazoo Wings take on the Fort Wayne Komets in Central Division play in the ECHL. Two teams currently separated in the Central Division standings by 10 points. Fort Wayne with 27 games remaining. Kalamazoo with 28 left on the schedule. A couple of new faces for Kalamazoo in the lineup tonight. Rookie forward Seamus Malone, who was loaned to the K-Wings yesterday from Utica, where he played in 28 games for the Utica Komets. He's a rookie out of the University of Wisconsin. He'll wear number 4. Mitch Elliott on defense wearing number 2. He'll be playing in his 4th game for Kalamazoo this year. He is a Vancouver Canucks prospect who's played in 20 games at the higher level in the AHL. We are underway here at Wings Event Center, lobbed into the Kalamazoo zone as Aaron Tho will get back to retrieve. Tho collects the puck. Kalamazoo again wearing their special Vancouver and Utica colored third jerseys tonight. White jerseys with green and blue trim. Fort Wayne in their third jerseys, orange with black trim and white numbers. Komets with the puck as they'll skate up towards the middle. It's Gottlieb. He turned it over to Taylor. Hooked up going to the net. And there's going to be a penalty here right away. Taylor was hooked up going to the net as he took it away from Gottlieb. It's going to be a hooking minor. And Kalamazoo will go to the Culver's power play right away. Gottlieb tried to stick handle out of the zone and the puck just sat still in the slot. And when Taylor took it away, he was hauled down on what could have been a breakaway. Because he never really had a clear breakaway, it wasn't a penalty shot. Instead, it is a hooking minor. And Kalamazoo is going to get the game's first power play. Hooking the call at 38 seconds of the first period on Gottlieb. Kalamazoo's power play this year operating at 18.9%. That is 8th in the ECHL. Against Fort Wayne this year, they are at 12.8%, though. Just 5 for 39 in the 9 meetings. See if Kalamazoo can get things going here early, but the Komets win the draw, and it's pushed around the glass and deflected out of play into the stands. Last touch by Gabriel Verpass, and the faceoff will come back in front of Patrick Munson. Goaltender who started the year with the Newfoundland Growlers was released, then signed by Fort Wayne as a free agent, and did not play in a game initially, was released by the Komets, then re-signed with Fort Wayne as a free agent again, and made his debut against Kalamazoo in what was a victory. And then since then, Munson has really been kind of the number one goaltender for Fort Wayne as he's taken the reins. Here's Matt Van Voris into the offensive zone. Had it poke checked by Doherty. Van Voris stays with it. It squirts towards the net, but is knocked free by Munson. Comes back to the point, held in by Fry. Left wing half wall Catalyst. Tries to go across, but it's deflected off the stick of A.J. Jenks and flies up into the netting out of play. 18:49 remaining here in the first period. Still 0-0. Wings Event Center. Kalamazoo has 1 minute and 27 seconds left of a power play on that early hooking minor to Max Gottlieb. This is the first game for Fort Wayne since that all-out brawl that a lot of people probably saw over the internet that went viral against Jacksonville a week ago. 5-4 overtime loss in that game, over 130 penalty minutes between the two teams. And 3 players suspended, a combined 28 games. 2 Fort Wayne defensemen were involved in that. Kyle Haas, 6 games. Chase Stewart, 6 games. And then Jacksonville's captain, Emerson Clark, 16 games. Kalamazoo struggles to get zone entry here on this man advantage, and Taylor Doherty is able to just drop it down into the Kalamazoo corner. Petrozelli puts a little bit of pressure on, and now escaping out from behind his net is Aaron Tho. Tho will bring it all the way through center, crosses over the Fort Wayne zone, splits the defense, walks to the net, and had it roll off his stick. And then Ross bats it back around the boards, but everybody will have to chase after this puck back down into the Kalamazoo zone. Nobody was up there at the right point. And Farley's heckled behind the cage, but he's able to get free from Gage Torrel. And Austin Farley now crosses over the Fort Wayne line, but he was poke checked at the blue line, and it is offside on Kalamazoo. So this power play so far has not really been able to set up on this first opportunity. 35 seconds left on the penalty to Torrel. 0-0 the score, 17:57 remaining in the first period. This is a season series that Fort Wayne has dominated from a standpoint of wins. They have won 6 out of the first 9. Kalamazoo has 2 regulation wins and an overtime win against the Komets. But Fort Wayne has also dominated the special teams. 5-on-5 is pretty even. It's exactly even, as a matter of fact. We'll get into that more, but Kalamazoo's shot through a screen is stopped by Munson. This is Van Voris in the left circle. Van Voris at the half wall, down to the corner. Pushed up top now for Zach Fry. Swept across to the right point. Center down low to Taylor. Jamming at it, save Munson. Rebound behind the net. Taylor centers again. Penalty has 5 seconds left on it. Fry goes across, but nobody was home on the left wing, and the Komets escape, and they kill it off. Out of the box comes Gottlieb. Good poke check in the neutral zone, though. Taylor couldn't quite get to it at the Fort Wayne blue line. As we're back to 5-on-5, and everything gets settled down here for the moment. Matthew Bowdens will feed it back to the defense, and Will Petchnig, actually Olivier Galipeau, leads it out to center onto the stick of Bowdens. Bowdens is tripped up by Edmondson at the half wall, and that's going to give Fort Wayne their first power play. Edmondson went in for the check, but his stick was on the ice, and it got caught in the skates there of Bowdens, and now it's going to be the first power play for the Komets, where they have been absolutely lethal in this season series. Time of this penalty, 3 minutes. It's Edmondson for tripping. 0-0, and Fort Wayne will get their first opportunity. Here's how dangerous the Komets' power play has been in this season series. They are 16 for 38. That is 42% against Kalamazoo this year on the man advantage. They have scored at least 1 power play goal in 8 out of the 9 meetings, multiple power play goals in 5 out of the 9, and the power play goals have combined for 35% of Fort Wayne's total goals against Kalamazoo this year. Glove catch there by Jake Kiley. The faceoff's going to be to his left. The shot came from Sean Szydlowski up at the right point. And the Komets will get set up here in the right wing faceoff circle with 1:49 left on this penalty to Edmondson. Fort Wayne is averaging 5 goals per game in this season series, 45 goals total against Kalamazoo. And again, 16 of them have come on the power play. Here's Max Gottlieb at the point. Szydlowski right circle. His shot's blocked by Diamond Tony, and that flies out of play over the high glass with 16:40 left in the opening frame and 1:40 left on this penalty to Edmondson. The only game in which Kalamazoo's penalty kill was perfect against Fort Wayne was December 29th at Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, in which the Komets only had 2 power play opportunities, and Kalamazoo killed both of them off. A.J. Jenks will take the draw against Diamond Tony. Diamond Tony wins it. The battle continues for the loose puck. It comes into the corner. Wilson swats it around his net. Sandler chases after it. Sandler under pressure will backhand it out of the zone, and this will hop a few times into the Fort Wayne end. Gottlieb will settle down the puck. 1:25 left on the minor to Ian Edmondson. 16:24 left in a scoreless first period. This pass gets deflected in the neutral zone, and back to retrieve it is Diamond Tony. He'll feed it to Wilson. Wilson will rip it up to the point, but that's held in there. Thrown into the circle and all the way down into the right wing corner. Zach Fry now has lots of time and space. Fry will angle it off the back wall over to Wilson, who motors out to center, and he'll rip it the rest of the way down the ice. 1 minute left on the penalty to Edmondson. Kalamazoo changing up their penalty killers. Now it's Van Voris, Taylor, Tho, and Catalyst. Carried out to center. Here's Baylis. Left wing into the Kalamazoo end. High in the slot, Łyszczarczyk to the right point, Galipeau, and across to Baylis at the left point. Back to Olivier Galipeau in the middle. Shoots through a screen. That's tipped just wide up into the glass. Over to the right wing side. Now it's Rymsha. Rymsha will try to go across the seam. Deflected in the slot by Van Voris. Scooped up by Baylis. Baylis tried to play it to the point but splits the defense, and that comes back out to center with 30 seconds left on this Komet power play. Alan Łyszczarczyk right back in on the right wing side. He'll drop it down to the half wall. It's knocked back to the point for Galipeau. Into the slot. Łyszczarczyk shoots, and they score. It went through the 5-hole of Kiley, and Fort Wayne's power play does it again. They now have a power play goal in 9 out of 10 meetings this year. It's 1-0 Komets, 4:41 at the time of the goal. Their power play now is 17 for 39 on the season against Kalamazoo, well over 40%. And that just seems to be the matchup problem. At even strength, these teams are tied 22 goals apiece against each other this year at 5-on-5. But the Komet power play has been the killer, and that's why they've won 6 out of the first 9 meetings. 1-0 Fort Wayne. 15-19 left in the first period, and it was on Fort Wayne's first official shot coming from Alan Łyszczarczyk, and Łyszczarczyk gets his 14th goal of the year. So we're back to 5-on-5 as it's pushed through center on the left wing side, broken up by Garrett Ross, scooped up by Elliott. He'll rip it in around the net. On the left wing is Sandler, tried to center. That's broken up by Pechnig. Sandler behind the net is checked to the ice. Now a wraparound chance goes just wide. Up to the point, a drive by Fry. That's deflected out of play by Anthony Petruzzelli. It'll be Łyszczarczyk from Galipeau and Torrel at 4:41 for Fort Wayne. Again, their first goal of tonight's game, a power play goal. 17 of their 46 goals have been on the man advantage in this season series. Blocker side face-off in front of Patrick Munson. 14:57 left in the opening frame. Face-off is controlled by Jason Binkley, who is playing forward tonight for Fort Wayne. Leads it in for Baylis, who fires in a blocker saved by Kiley. The puck's brought back up the right wing and out by Zach Fry. Knocked into the offensive zone by Ross, and he's drilled as he enters the zone by Galipeau. On the near side now, it's pushed back down into the corner. Looking for the puck is Brennan Sanford. It comes free into the left wing circle now for Sandler. Stick handles, tries to throw it through the slot all the way across to the right wing corner, and here's Garrett Ross. Ross pressured by Galipeau. Sandler tries to leave it behind the net. Galipeau catches up to the puck, leads it up the middle of the ice, and it's brought to center by Baylis. Stephen Baylis will get there. He dumps it down in behind the Kalamazoo net, and Kiley stops it behind his cage, feeds it to Zach Fry. Fry works his way back out towards center. He'll lift it through the middle of the ice. Chasing in after it's Boston Lear to beat the icing. Lear is challenged and checked on the play by Chaz Redekop. Now it's lifted into the left wing circle and cleared back out to center by Rymsha. Brought in on the play by Redekop, joining the rush, but it was taken off his stick by Aaron Tho. On the left wing, Boston Lear back to center. Onto the tape now of Zach Diamond-Tony. Into the offensive zone, but it's poke checked, and it did come outside the zone. Aaron Tho shot it back in, and it'll be offside at the line. 13:42 left in the first period. Kalamazoo unable to convert on their early power play. Fort Wayne does score on theirs. Alan Łyszczarczyk, his 14th of the year. We're back after this. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
When you're getting ready for a move, look no further than Allied Van Lines. Their world-class crew of full-service movers will make sure your moving gets done quickly and carefully. Whether your next move is in residential transfer across the interstate or corporate relocation around the world, Allied's team knows exactly how to help. Get your free quote today by calling 269-345-6111.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plant. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com. 13:42 left in the opening period here at Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo. The K-Wings trailing the Fort Wayne Komets 1-0. Fort Wayne with a power play goal on their first opportunity of the hockey game. Scored by Alan Łyszczarczyk from Olivier Galipeau and Gage Torrel. 14th of the year for Łyszczarczyk from high in the slot. And the Komets power play has been lethal in the season series. Kalamazoo needs to stay out of the box at all costs to have a shot here against Fort Wayne. That's just the way this season series has gone. Up the right wing, Will Pechnig gets to center, rips it in around the K-Wings net. Far side, it's Catalyst. He's challenged at the half wall. Comes up to the point, though, and Lear's able to clear it. Leads it up ice for Austin Farley with a step into the zone. Right circle. Farley looking for a trailer, and it's broken up in the slot by Rymsha. Now on the right wing, Szydlowski saucers it back over. Van Voorhis couldn't quite pick that one off, and in the neutral zone, Kalamazoo will regroup. It's Aaron Tho. He takes a shot from Szydlowski in front of the Komet bench as he dumps it in. Van Voorhis reverses the puck for Diamond-Tony. Backdoor shot by Seamus Malone and a save made by Munson. Here's Malone with the puck at the left point. He'll wrap it in around the Fort Wayne net. And Van Voorhis, I think, ran into the post inadvertently here, and it is off its moorings. And they will fix the net behind Patrick Munson. 12:46 left in the first period. Kalamazoo fans upset that Munson knocked the net fully off, but it was already off its post. Van Voorhis had bumped it on his way around the cage, and Munson just tried to get the officials' attention by knocking it the rest of the way off. Now, he's got to be careful there, though, because it's not his call to make. The officials have to see the net off, and he can do what he needs to do to get their attention. But if it was ruled that he knocked the net all the way off, they could give him a delay of game for that, fair or not. So it's one of those situations, if you're Munson, you just wait and wait and wait until they whistle the play down. And Munson's going to be relieved to hear, I think, that he did not get a penalty for knocking the net the rest of the way off. Here's the replay again. Van Voorhis bumped it on his way around the net initially, knocking one post off, and face-off's going to be to the right of Munson. Taylor on the draw will go up against Jenks. 12:46 left in the first period. 1-0 Fort Wayne on the goal by Alan Łyszczarczyk on their power play. Taylor wins the draw. Jenks will play it behind his net. Doherty leads it up the left wing for Bowdens. Matthew Bowdens wraps it back into the corner. D now, it's Olivier Galipeau up towards the point, shoveled to center by Jenks. Petruzzelli will saucer it through, but it hops the stick of Bowdens. Edmondson's the first man there, chips it off the back wall. Wilson steps over, comes free though to Petruzzelli, who fires off the post. He rang it off the crossbar over the top of Jake Kiley. Petruzzelli back into the corner again. On the right wing side, Bowdens has help from Jenks. Back to the half wall, Seamus Malone intercepts, and Malone will angle it around his net. To the right wing side, it's Edmondson. Out to center for Justin Taylor. Taylor lobs it down on goal. One hops the goaltender Munson, who steers it into the corner. Back over on the left wing is Galipeau. 12 minutes left here in the first period. 1-0 Fort Wayne. Brought back through by Petruzzelli, and he'll feed it down in behind the net. Mitch Elliott challenged on the play by Jenks. It's batted back around the boards. On the right wing, scooped up now by Stephen Baylis. Top of the right circle, into the high slot. Fans on the shot. It's taken away here. Van Voorhis will lead it out to center. Onto the stick of Elliott. Left circle, Elliott fires, and a save made by Munson with the right pad. Fort Wayne will try to clear it. It's lifted out by Petruzzelli, who took a booming hit from Luke Sandler. Sandler gets it back, feeds it across the rink. Elliott skates back in, stick handles, has a trailer. Ross shoots up high over the top of the net. That was Garrett Ross. Here's a shot from Fry that's blocked. It goes in behind the cage. Fry now challenged by Redekop and delivers a check, and they're going to send Fry here, and Fort Wayne's going to get another power play. Fry retaliated as he got his hands up and shoved Chaz Redekop, and the Komets are going to go back to the man advantage with 11-12 left in the first period. This is not the formula against this Komet team. Fort Wayne lives and dies by their power play, and against Kalamazoo, they have only lived when they get those man advantages. There have been games this year, 5 of them, and as a matter of fact, where Fort Wayne has scored multiple power play goals against Kalamazoo. One where they scored 3 power play goals, and they had a game where they scored 4 power play goals against the K-Wings this season. They're 1 for 1 already, and they'll get another chance. K-Wings on the Advia Credit Union penalty kill. Face off to the right of Jake Kiley. 1-0 Fort Wayne, 11-12 left in the first. Time of that penalty, 8:48. And it's Zach Fry for roughing. Off the face-off, K-Wings blasted around the board. Szydlowski keeps it in at the right point. Szydlowski saucers it to the middle. It's Max Gottlieb, left wing circle now, down to the goal line. Quick touch pass is broken up. They don't get the shot off, and Szydlowski pulls back to the right wing half wall. Szydlowski into the circle now, tries a shot save. Kiley, rebound by Jenks, right into the pads of Kiley, who hangs onto it, and the face-off will go to his left. 1:40 left on this penalty to Zach Fry. Again, Fort Wayne's power play, number 1 unit out there. Petruzzelli, Jenks, Szydlowski, Bowdens, the 4th forward up at the point, and Gottlieb, the lone defenseman. It was the second power play group, though, that scored on their first advantage. 10:52 remaining in the first period. Face-off won by Justin Taylor. It's played D, and Van Voorhis will fire it out to center, and this will go all the way down, and Gottlieb will chase it in his own end. Max Gottlieb behind his net. He'll start up the middle of the ice. Gottlieb over to the left wing side. Carried through now by Baylis. He'll crisscross back into the Kalamazoo end. Drops it off for Szydlowski at the right point. It's wrapped in around the net. To the far side, Petruzzelli. Challenge on the play by Wilson. Edmondson comes over to help. It's flipped up to the line, but not out. Held in by Gottlieb. Here's Szydlowski on the right wing. Back up top to Gottlieb. His pass was deflected by Taylor. Flies over to the far side, but stays in play. And then Gage Torrel will dump it in around the net. Edmondson picks up the puck, sails it up the near boards and out. all the way down with 55 seconds left on the minor penalty to Zach Fry. 1-0 Fort Wayne. Shots even at 4-4. Behind his net is Drake Rymsha, and it's dropped off and brought out to center by Olivier Galipeau. Galipeau to the left wing. Baylis into the offensive zone for Fort Wayne, puts on the brakes in the corner. Stephen Baylis to the half wall. Baylis wraps it back down into the corner again, and it's angled off the boards back to Baylis at the left point. Baylis circles down to the half wall, to the point Galipeau. Touch pass over to Drake Rymsha. Across the seam, Baylis fires, and a save by Kiley. Rebound is pushed into the corner. Diamond Tony ties it up as long as he can. 2-on-2 battle for the puck. Finally, it comes free. Gage Torrel got it free. Diamond Tony, though, is able to jam it back up against the boards again. Now it squirts free to the half wall. Catalyst kicks it out towards center, and shorthanded, here comes Diamond Tony. Stick handling, he lost the puck to Galipeau as it's pushed back in for Gage Torrel. Right circle, centers. That's broken up, and out of the box comes Fry as the K-Wings are back to full strength. Brought in by Boston Lear. His shot's deflected wide. Ricochets off the back wall, and it's covered by Munson. Munson will hold on for the face-off. It'll be to his right with 9:02 left in the first period. So Kalamazoo kills that one off. And Fort Wayne now 1 for 2 on the power play here in the opening period. We're back to 5-on-5, and the K-Wings will have an offensive zone face-off. Head coach Nick Bootland will bring on the line of Garrett Ross, Luke Sandler, and Tyler Ganley. Ganley is playing forward tonight. At the blue line will be Zach Fry and Mitch Elliott. Justin Kovacs was a late scratch today with an upper body injury day-to-day. Still out from Wednesday night's game. Second straight game, Matty Icapelli has missed. Face-off one. Fry blasts a shot right into the glove of Munson, who will hold on to that shot, but Fry let that one rip right off the draw. Garrett Ross had won the face-off and was shaken up on the play. He's now back to his feet. Kalamazoo still without Kyle Blaney. He is missing his 8th consecutive game with an upper body injury. Brennan Sanford is back in the lineup tonight, but he is the 10th forward. He did not play Wednesday. Off this face-off, the Komets will win it, and Gabriel Verpass will lead it up the left wing and out as it's dumped in from center. Around the K-Wings net, Fry's the first to the puck. Pressure put on by Jenks. On the near side is Garrett Ross. Jamming at it is Sandler. Jenks pushes it into the corner. Sandler stays with it, and now he escapes up the left wing. Luke Sandler across the rink, out of the reach of Elliott. Thrown back in by Fort Wayne. They have to tag up onside. But it was icing nonetheless, and everything will come back down in front of Patrick Munson with 8:33 left in the first period. Still 1-0 in favor of the Komets. Again, these teams have met 9 times, and in 5-on-5 situations, they have each scored 22 goals this year. That's how even the series has been from an even strength standpoint, but the special teams have been the difference. Fort Wayne's penalty kill has only allowed 5 goals in the season series, working at 87.2% against Kalamazoo, and their power play is over 42% against Kalamazoo. Up top, Edmondson fires a shot. Tipped just wide by Van Voris. It goes in behind the net. Van Voris tries to dig it free. Lifted up in the air. Knocked down on the play by Verpass. Held in by Seamus Malone. Van Voris wrapped up behind the net by Verpass. Down in the corners, Taylor. Right wing half walls, Wilson. Back to the point. Drops it off to Malone. Seamus Malone centers one right through the crease off the pad of Munson. Left wing wall now, Edmondson. Behind the net to the right wing side, it's Malone. Seamus Malone at the half wall. To the line, Wilson blasts a shot and a save by Munson. And this time the rebound scooped up and lifted out by Matthew Bowdens. Dropping it into the Kalamazoo zone, Edmondson with it. Spins it across the rink for Taylor. He'll push it back to Wilson in his own zone as the K-Wings finish off this line change. Ian Edmondson in his own end. Lifts it through the neutral zone. Chasing it down is Diamond Tony. He beats the icing. Diamond Tony behind the net to the right wing corner. This is Boston Lear. Tries to spin off a check from Gottlieb. Lear jams at it now. Farley's in there to help. Diamond Tony knocked it free for a moment, but it's sent up the left wing and knocked out to center by Baylis. Back to retrieve it is Catalyst at his own blue line. Torrel gets it back, though, and flips it down into the Kalamazoo corner. Skating behind his net was Tho. Right wing side, Catalyst. Tipped out to center, and chasing after it was Aaron Tho, but was knocked away by Jason Binkley. Brought back ahead, though. It's Austin Farley on the right wing into the zone. Pushes it into the slot. Rips a shot and a save made by Munson, but Farley saucered it to himself and then one-timed it on goal, and Munson had to be ready for a quick trigger there by Farley. Munson hangs on for the face-off. 7:04 left in the first period. Still 1-0 Fort Wayne. Shots are now 9-5 in favor of Kalamazoo. Komets goal coming on an early power play. Scored by Alan Łyszczarczyk, his 14th of the season. Glove side faceoff in front of Munson. Garrett Ross comes on to take the draw against Drake Rymsha. Won by Ross. Sandler to the point. Check that Sanford. Here's a shot from the right point, and it's swallowed up by Munson. It came off the stick of Fry again. As Zach Fry's had a couple opportunities here in the first period on shots from the point with traffic in front of the Komet netminder. Fort Wayne also missing quite a few of their top guns. Brett McKenzie is out tonight. Brad Morrison still on injured reserve, as is Sean St. Amand. St. Amand, of course, won a Kelly Cup with the Colorado Eagles a couple years ago. Was teammates with Brady Shaw, who was also out of the lineup. Shaw was injured last Thursday in Jacksonville on a big open ice hit. Brought in by Alan Łyszczarczyk. Knocked away by Fry, and he'll lead the rush back to center. Feeds it to Ross, cutting through the middle of the ice into the offensive zone. They'll say Sanford was a little bit ahead of the play, and Kalamazoo is offside. 6:30 left here in the first period. 1-0 Fort Wayne. This is the 10th of 14 meetings this year between these two teams. The next time they face off is next Wednesday in Fort Wayne at Memorial Coliseum. And then the following Wednesday, February 19th at Memorial Coliseum. Only one more home game for Kalamazoo against this Fort Wayne team, and that is on February 25th. Blasted in around the Komet net by Wilson. It's scooped up and brought out by Petruzzelli. He throws it across the neutral zone. Bowdens tries to play it in for Jenks, who had a stick lifted by Edmondson, who sends it right back out to center. Knocked into the offensive zone by Taylor, but it's pushed right back out again. And here's Jenks turning back to his own blue line, feeding it across the rink for Doherty. Doherty reverses it for Jenks. Brings it in on the right wing into the Kalamazoo circle. Fires a shot through a screen and a stick save made by Kiley. Back down in the far corner. Jenks throws a check on Taylor. Edmondson tries to play it back to Taylor. Intercepted by Jenks. Sharp angle shot stopped by Kiley. Wraparound chance is knocked away by Kiley with the pad. And Van Voris is able to escape out to the neutral zone again. Delayed offside for Kalamazoo. Van Voris just throws it back into his own end. And Aaron Tho will catch up to it, skating behind his cage. Tho launches it up the right wing for Farley. Chipped over to Taylor. Taylor drops it into the offensive zone and completes the line change. 5:25 remaining here, first period at Wings Event Center. 1-0 Fort Wayne. Pushed in around the Kalamazoo net. Aaron Tho's the first to the puck. Challenged on the play by Torrel. It's outletted up the right wing for Boston Lear in his second game back from injury. Zach Diamantoni's hammered at the Fort Wayne blue line and is shaken up on the play as the check was thrown by Chaz Redekop. Diamantoni will limp off the ice after taking that check. Behind the net is Aaron Tho. 4:58 left here in the first period. Tho with possession of the puck behind his cage. 1-0 Komets in front. Aaron Tho will direct traffic. Garrett Ross comes on with Luke Sandler and Brennan Sanford. Sanford angles it to center ice. Sandler tries to go back to him in the slot. Getting across, though, is Rymsha to intercept. Łyszczarczyk knocks it back to center. Here's Drake Rymsha. In on the right wing, drops it off to Szydlowski. Cuts into the high slot, rips a shot that's blocked by Sandler. Scooped up by Sanford, led out to center for Elliott. Mitch Elliott on the right wing. He gets around a check but lost the puck. Going in for a big hit was Galipeau, and he missed, but he knocked the puck away from Elliott on the play. Galipeau again with it in his own end. Reverses it back to Doherty. Up the right wing into the skates of Szydlowski. In across the offensive blue. Szydlowski now heckled by Fry. Fry knocks the puck free, and Taylor works his way back out to center ice. Chops it down into the Fort Wayne zone. Munson out for a skate. Munson wraps it over to the near side for Petruzzelli. Petruzzelli wheels back through the middle and out to center. And then Petruzzelli will dump it down into the Kalamazoo corner. Behind the net is Edmondson, pressured by Jenks. Knocked away, and on the right wing, Van Voris has room to work out towards center. Ahead now for Wilson into the offensive zone, but Petchnig's able to clear it quickly. Brought back out by Petruzzelli again. Racing through the neutral zone. Fires a shot up high over the Kalamazoo net, and that deflected out of play, as I think Kiley got a shoulder on it, and it wound up in the mesh above the high glass. With 3:32 left in the first period, we have a timeout on the ice. Still 1-0 Komets. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan. Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 32nd season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, official signage provider; A&R Sports, official hockey accessory supplier; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Risk and Insurance, and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2020 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Emphasis Lighting, the preferred lighting partner of the ECHL. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Geico, official auto insurance of the ECHL. Handbit, the official mobile auction app. Honig's, the official partner of the ECHL officiating team. Howie's Hockey Tape, official hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, official puck provider. Migrate Group, your source for game-worn jerseys. Ticket Galaxy, official ticket resale partner. And Warrior, official on-ice equipment provider of the ECHL. Catch all the live ECHL action in high definition by logging on to ECHL.tv. 3.5 minutes left in the first period. 1-0 Fort Wayne leading Kalamazoo here at Wings Event Center. Standing ovation here in Kalamazoo for the hometown hero. A gentleman with an illustrious record from the sounds of it during that media timeout in the service. Thank you, sir, for your service. Thanks to all of our servicemen and women, active and retired, around the U.S. Face-off here in front of Jake Kiley, won by the Komets, and a glove save by Kiley on a one-timer at the point by Chaz Redekop. Redekop, 23-year-old, joining Fort Wayne for the first time this year from Ontario in the AHL. Redekop has played the last couple seasons in the LA Kings organization, mostly with Ontario. Did play 10 games with the Manchester Monarchs last year in the ECHL. Lear tries to clear it, has help from Catalyst, but it was held in both times at the point. Second time was from Gottlieb. And Fort Wayne continues to work in the offensive zone. Lear was knocked down on the right wing side. The puck goes in behind the net, and it's scooped up now by Tho, led out to center for Lear. Lear to the right wing, Catalyst in across the offensive blue line, into the skates of Farley, threw it towards the front, save, rebound Lear, another save Munson, and there's a penalty coming on Fort Wayne. Farley was hooked up going through the slot, and I think Kalamazoo is going to get their second power play. Munson with two big saves there. He has 11 in the first period. And let's see who's headed to the box. Good news for Kalamazoo is Zach Diamantoni was back out there for his regular shift after he was injured on his last shift. Jason Binkley is going to go to the Komets penalty box. 2 minutes, I think, was hooking. I didn't see the signal. It was. Hooking the call at 17:06 on Binkley. Kalamazoo to the Culver's power play for the second time, where they are 0 for 1 and just 5 for 40 this year against Fort Wayne. Face-off won by the K-Wings. Eric Catalyst at the point. Rips a shot fought off by Munson with the left arm. Malone to the line. That's knocked away but held in by Fry. Drop back to Malone in the right circle. Spins away from Verpass and cycles it. This is Taylor in the corner. He's checked on the play. Taylor pressured by Doherty. Malone gets it back to the blue line. It's Fry. Fry walks the blue line. Feeds it back to Malone. Malone circles the zone now. Back over to Fry. Left wing half wall. Fry will throw one backdoor. Tipped, and it goes just wide off the stick of Taylor. Missing by an inch. On the right wing, Seamus Malone. Back to the half wall. Malone tried to saucer it up top. That's picked off, and here come the Komets. They almost had a 2-on-1, but we're changing. So Jenks will walk in all alone, and he had it knocked off his stick by Malone on the back check. Up the right wing, Matt Van Voris back into the offensive zone. Tries to cycle it. It's broken up and cleared by Szydlowski. And now just 2 minutes left in the first period. 1:05 remaining on the penalty to Binkley. Kalamazoo changing their power play groupings. Out comes Elliott with Farley, Tho, Ross, and Lear. Brought in by Farley. Left wing, it's Garrett Ross into the circle. Across Lear. Backdoor chip just wide by Farley. And Farley took a check with the paddle of Patrick Munson's stick, trying to knock Farley out of the play. He got that paddle up high, but it was chipped just wide by Austin Farley on that tic-tac-toe play. Brought back in by Mitch Elliott. High in the slot. Rips a shot. Kick save Munson. And then Elliott was dumped, colliding on the play with Verpass. And Gabriel Verpass was slow to get up. 25 seconds left on the penalty to Binkley. Mitch Elliott back over to Austin Farley. Stick handles through the neutral zone. He had it poked off his stick. Farley tries to win the battle as he's heckled on the play by Szydlowski. Brought back in by Aaron Tho. Szydlowski hits Farley behind the play. Now Elliott in the right wing corner, threw one right through the crease and all the way across as it's intercepted and lifted out by Torrel. Rymsha chases in after it. Kiley comes out of his net to play it. Now Torrel tries to catch him and he shot it wide. Out of the box comes Binkley, and Fort Wayne's at full strength. Kalamazoo 0 for 2 on the Culver's power play. 45 seconds left in the first period, still 1-0 Fort Wayne. Shots are 13-8 in favor of Kalamazoo. Behind the net is Mitch Elliott. Elliott will lead it up the left wing for Sandler, but it's taken off his stick by Jenks in the right circle. His shot's blocked by Elliott. Jenks now feeds it out front again, and a save by Kiley. Petruzzelli jamming at it. Kiley's got it, and he'll get the whistle with 28.7 seconds remaining. Late here in the first period, we're again 5-on-5. It's been fairly even. You could even say Kalamazoo has had more scoring chances and more pressure in the Fort Wayne zone at 5-on-5 tonight, but the Komets' early power play goal is the lone difference. As you might have just seen on the replay on Kalamazoo's power play, Justin Taylor was inches from tying the game. They trickled off the heel of his stick and just inches wide. Same thing happened to Austin Farley at the opposite post about 30 seconds later on a tic-tac-toe play, and Farley just missed the net. In the neutral zone is Redicott, poke checked on the play by Taylor, but he couldn't catch up to it. Gottlieb hustles over to corral the loose puck. 12 seconds left here in the first period. Gottlieb looks up. He's content. He'll just launch it out to center now with 7 seconds left in the period. It's backhanded on goal from center ice. Kiley makes the stop, pushes it into the corner, and the first period comes to an end here at Wings Event Center. Fort Wayne with a 1-0 lead, a power play goal from Alan Łyszczarczyk, 14th goal of the season for the rookie, and the Komets' 17th power play goal in 40 opportunities against Kalamazoo this year. We'll come back with our first intermission. First period tonight was brought to you by Allied Van Lines. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Ever wish you could visit Italy but just can't afford it? Don't worry. Jasper's Pizza and Fine Italian Food will be your tour guide as you go on a culinary tour of Italy. With the best ingredients shipped straight from Italy, Jasper's made-from-scratch sauces, pastas, and pizza won't disappoint. Jasper's, located at 5190 Gull Road, is the place to go for all your pizza and pasta needs. Jasper's has been in business since 1977 and still serving the great food today.
Positivity. It's more than a saying. It's the driving force behind our health system. It's in our employees, our providers, our patients. It's in the choices we make to improve healthcare for you and the ways we work together to advance the health of our community. At Bronson, we live positivity because positivity is what inspires us to go above and beyond. Find out what it can do for you at bronsonpositivity.com or follow us on Facebook.
Zemlick Office Products is a second-generation, family-owned company with 5 different locations based in Southwest Michigan. They can supply everything for your office, church, school, or break room. They carry it all, from ink, toner, and paper, to furniture, safety vests, and light bulbs. Zemlick serves customers of all sizes in Michigan and northern Indiana. There is no customer too small or too large. Place your order today via their website at zemlick.com, or you can give them a call at 866-936-5425.
Old Burdick's has burgers, beers, big screens, and we take watching the big game seriously. Grab a beer bucket, house-smoked wings, or a handcrafted burger, and take in the energy and excitement like you're at the game itself. Stop into either of the Old Burdick's locations, downtown Kalamazoo, inside of the Radisson Plaza Hotel, or at Wings West off of 9th Street. Hey fans, be sure to check out ECHL.TV, the live streaming destination for the 2019-20 season. Catch all the latest live action from across the premier AA Hockey League, including multi-game high-definition view and playback functionality on both your PC, mobile, and OTT devices. Visit ECHL.TV today to get into the game and never miss the action.
Big Ben Maller.
It's the Ben Maller Show.
Ben Maller. So Patrick Mahomes is about to get paid. History has shown
when you break the bank when it comes to a quarterback, you then eliminate any possibility for a dynasty. The secret spice, if you will, in what the Patriots have been able to do is they've never had to pay Tom Brady top dollar.
Fan, I love you.
Weekday mornings at 2 on 1660 The Fan.
This is Coach Joel Martin, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo, where the K-Wings trail the Fort Wayne Komets by a 1-0 score through 20 minutes of play. The Komets getting an early power play goal. Scored 4 minutes and 41 seconds into the game by Alan Łyszczarczyk, the rookie's 14th goal of the season, 38th point in 42 games. Łyszczarczyk from Olivier Galipeau and Gage Torrel. And that gave Fort Wayne the 1-0 lead. It was after the Komets had already killed off the game's first penalty. Max Gottlieb was called for hooking 38 seconds into the game, and Kalamazoo was not able to convert. And then Ian Edmondson was called for tripping 3 minutes into the game. And the Komets scored late in that power play. That was the only goal of the opening frame. K-Wings outshot Fort Wayne 14-10, including most of that at even strength. K-Wings did have a couple of good looks in a late first period power play. Jason Binkley was called for hooking at 17:06, but Kalamazoo was not able to convert. They missed the net twice on chances in tight that were passes to the back door. The first time it was at the glove side post of Patrick Munson, and Justin Taylor just had to roll off the heel of his stick about 2 or 3 inches wide of the far post. And then the second one was on a 3-on-2 zone entry that Kalamazoo made a quick tic-tac-toe passing play to the back door for Austin Farley on the stick side post, and Farley shoveled the shot just wide of the net. But aside from that, the K-Wings playing from behind after 20 minutes. Fort Wayne's power play has fueled them all year in this season series. In the 9 meetings coming in between these two teams, the Komets have won 6 of those, and they have scored at least 1 power play goal in 8 of the 9 meetings. They've scored multiple power play goals in 5 of the 9. The only exception where they did not score a single power play goal was December 29th in Fort Wayne when they went 0 for 2. Komets power play against Kalamazoo, as I mentioned during that first period, came into tonight at 42%. Overall, they're 24.7%, which is second best in the ECHL. But in this series, 42%. 16 for 38. They are now 17 for 40 as they were 1 for 2 in that first period. Jake Kiley at the other end settled in. That first shot he saw was the power play goal that was fired in from about high in the slot, about 3 feet outside the top of the circles, right in the high slot area that Alan Łyszczarczyk was able to sneak through the 5-hole of Kiley and in. He stopped the next 9 shots, though, that he saw. Kiley stopping 9 out of 10. And again, Patrick Munson at the other end stopped all 14 shots he saw. These two teams will meet 4 more times. This is the 10th meeting of the year out of 14. They will meet 3 more times in Fort Wayne, February 12th, February 19th, and March 7th. That's the final matchup of the year between these two. Kalamazoo will host Fort Wayne one more time on February 25th here at Wings Event Center. But again, it's a team that Kalamazoo's chasing in the Central Division standings. K-Wings coming in to tonight in 6th place, 10 points behind Fort Wayne for 3rd, 9 points behind Indy for that 4th and final playoff spot with a game in hand against both, and 7 points behind Wheeling for 5th with a game in hand on the Nailers. Indy is the team that Kalamazoo faces tomorrow night here at Wings Event Center at 7 o'clock for Marvel Superhero Night. That should be a fun one, featuring Spider-Man. Kalamazoo's Spider-Man jerseys will be auctioned off throughout the course of the night on the Handbid mobile app. Coming up here in our first intermission, we'll go through some scores from around the ECHL, AHL, and NHL. That's coming up next. It is 1-0 Fort Wayne after 1. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
We're the home of the Chicago Cubs, K-Wings, WMU Women's Basketball, and high school sports. 1660 The Fan, WQLR, Kalamazoo, Portage.
We get it. Life doesn't always let you do everything you want. With the Kalamazoo Wings 5 and 3 packs, you get the best games, the best seats, and the best food at one low price. You can enjoy all the hard-hitting action without breaking the bank or missing out on any big games. Packages are limited, so pick up the phone and call 269-488-8158 or go online to kwings.com to get yours ordered today. Don't wait because they'll be gone before you know it. Wanted, weekend warriors, and recovering couch potatoes. Are you looking to lose weight or just want to improve your physical condition? Work smarter with high-tech fitness coaching from Athletic Mentors. Born out of our work with elite athletes, but designed for everyone, our metabolic testing and body composition ultrasound will put science on your side to optimize your workouts. Check out our packages at athleticmentors.com under functional fitness. athleticmentors.com.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plans. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com.
Yeah, my friends are surprised I'm here tonight. Every time a good show came through, I had an excuse. I gotta take care of the kids, I gotta work late. Honestly, I just didn't have room in the budget. Recently, I found out I could save a ton of money by transferring my credit cards and auto loan to Advia Credit Union, and it was simple. Now I have my own concert fund set aside and am ready to rock at a moment's notice. I just don't remember it being this loud in college.
It's simple. Transfer your loans to Advia Credit Union online or at a branch. We'll handle the rest. All loans subject to approval. Rates and terms may vary based on creditworthiness of borrower.
Craig Culver cooking up the one and only mushroom and Swiss butter burger.
Have you ever tried our butter burger with sauteed mushrooms? I just placed 2 patties of our Midwestern beef on the grill. We're adding the sauteed mushrooms. We've added the Swiss. So the Swiss cheese is melting over the side of the burger. And mushrooms are right in the middle. Oh, that looks good. And there's the mushroom and Swiss butter burger. Welcome to Delicious.
Enjoy the farm fresh taste of Culver's at one of 4 area locations.
There are so many ways to like us.
Let's go to the stat sheet.
Following us on Twitter at Fox Sports Radio.
I like them a lot.
Listening on iHeartRadio.
I like it tight.
Listening right here.
We're here about the truth.
Podcasting.
Huh.
The list goes on and on.
I like how you took that to its extreme.
And this is why you like us.
This is why.
We don't tie you down.
Good for you.
I like that.
So be free and find that listening side piece.
And with that,
1660 The Fan.
This is Yannick Veilleux, and you're listening to the K-Wing Hockey.
Back here inside Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo on this Friday night, where the K-Wings host the Fort Wayne Komets. 10th of 14 meetings this year between these two Central Division rivals. The Komets have a 1-0 lead after one, thanks to an early power play goal from Alan Łyszczarczyk. Elsewhere around the ECHL, these scores brought to you by Tower Pinkster. South Carolina and Orlando are scoreless after 20 minutes of play down at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Reading leads Atlanta 2-0. That's after one period at Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania. Newfoundland is up 2-0 in Glens Falls, New York over the Adirondack Thunder. That's at Cool Insuring Arena. That's after 20 minutes of play. Maine has a 1-0 lead over Worcester late in the first period at Cross Insurance Arena. And Jacksonville has taken a 1-0 lead over Norfolk. That is midway through the first period at the Norfolk Scope. Florida is up 1-0 over Greenville. That is midway through the first period at Hertz Arena down in Estero, Florida. Toledo and Cincinnati are underway about 4 minutes into the hockey game. No score so far at Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati. The Indy Fuel and Tulsa Oilers are also in action at Indiana Farmers Coliseum in Indianapolis. 0-0 game right now, 12:50 left in the first. Later on tonight, Wichita is in Kansas City to play the Mavericks at Silverstein iCenters Arena, and Utah is in Boise to face the Idaho Steelheads at CenturyLink Arena. In the American Hockey League, Kalamazoo's AHL affiliates, the Utica Komets, have the night off. But some other games going on. Toronto and Belleville are tied at 1 after one period of play. That's in Belleville, Ontario. The Charlotte Checkers are up 3-0 over the Hartford Wolfpack. That's at the end of 20 minutes at Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte. In Cleveland, Ohio, the Monsters are up 1-0 over the Binghamton Devils. That's at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse after 1. And also after 1 in Lehigh Valley at Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Lehigh Valley Phantoms and Springfield Thunderbirds are scoreless. Rochester leads Syracuse 1-0 after 1 up in Rochester, New York. Hershey is up on the road 1-0 over Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Matt Molson with the goal for the Hershey Bears. And later tonight, Chicago is in Manitoba to play the Moose. Texas is in Milwaukee to face the Admirals. San Antonio is in Rockford to play the Ice Hogs. Again, the news coming out of San Antonio yesterday was that the Vegas Golden Knights had purchased the San Antonio Rampage organization. And the rumor is it's with the intention of moving the Rampage to the Las Vegas area to bring the Golden Knights AHL affiliate closer to Sin City, which would be big news for that area, but obviously very sad news for the San Antonio Rampage and their fans, as the Rampage have been around for quite a while down there in the Alamo. Another AHL game later on tonight in Loveland, Colorado. The Colorado Eagles hosting the San Jose Barracuda. The Bakersfield Condors will welcome the Ontario Reign out in Bakersfield, California later tonight, and Tucson is in San Diego to face the Gulls. In the National Hockey League, going on right now in Toronto, the Maple Leafs and the Anaheim Ducks are tied at 1. That's after 1 period of play. The Buffalo Sabres have a 1-0 lead over the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. That's after 20 minutes of action. No score after 1 in Columbus. The Blue Jackets hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Columbus with a 10-5 shots advantage in the opening frame. And starting shortly, in about 40 minutes from Dallas, Texas, the Dallas Stars will host the Minnesota Wild. A light slate on this Friday night in the National Hockey League, just those 4 games. More of a full slate in the AHL and ECHL. Again, it's 1-0 here in Kalamazoo after 20 minutes. Fort Wayne with the lead. The early power play goal from Alan Łyszczarczyk is the difference right now. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second period. The drop of the puck is next. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660 The Fan.
Host your event at Wings Event Center. With a hospitality-first mentality, you can rest easy knowing your event is in good hands. Conveniently located directly off I-94 in Kalamazoo with top-notch technological capabilities, in-house catering available, and intimate to large event spaces, you'll be set up for success at Wings Event Center. Visit wingseventcenter.com to learn more about booking your next event in Kalamazoo.
Hey, we just landed. We'll be home in 10 minutes.
The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Safe, simple, convenient. Going out or coming home, it's the hassle-free way to travel, with parking right outside the new terminal. And now, AZO is even easier. That's right. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport is easier than distant airports, and easier than ever before, right in your backyard. Now there are more flights with larger jets, more first-class seats, a new Comfort Plus class with extra legroom, and introducing new basic economy fares. Whether you're traveling for business or leisure, flying in and out of AZO improves your entire experience. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Fly home. Be home.
CSM Group is a national project management company with roots in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Since 1983, CSM Group has been leading the construction industry with their extensive safety practices, planning, and execution of all sizes. CSM Group employs over 100 construction professionals and hosts operations in 26 states as well as in Canada. They have market-focused divisions in healthcare, food and beverage, industrial manufacturing, education, and corporate facilities. For all your project needs, be sure to call CSM Group at 269-746-5600.
Looking for a fun, fast-paced way to spend your weekend or night out with coworkers and friends? With packages for 10 friends or 200 coworkers, look no further than K-Wings Hockey. With on-site catering and private event spaces available, a K-Wings hockey game is the perfect place to enjoy the company of whoever you want while watching Kalamazoo's only professional sports team. Call us today at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com for more information or to book your group today.
I'm a sucker for you.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
Who should have won Super Bowl MVP? Patrick Mahomes or running back Damian Williams?
I would have given it to Williams.
I thought that he was steady from start to finish. You needed him to keep Mahomes in the game. You rushed for over 100 yards. I thought that he was more consistent than Mahomes was. Mahomes didn't play well.
Dan Patrick.
And here they are.
Weekday mornings at 9 on 1660 The Fan.
This is Luke Sandler, forward, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
Teams are back onto the ice, and we are about ready for the start of the second period inside Wings Event Center, Kalamazoo, Michigan. John Peterson here with you on AM 1660 The Fan and also on ECHL TV. It is 90s night tonight. This was an event that the fans after last season voted on in their postseason survey as something they really wanted Kalamazoo to put together this year, and this is the first time that we've done a 90s night, as this year is the year of the fan. We just had a lot of fun right before the end of that intermission as there was some arena karaoke going on, and now the K-Wings faithful hoping their team can tie this game down by 1 against the Fort Wayne Komets. Komets with the early goal under 5 minutes into the hockey game on a power play scored by Alan Łyszczarczyk. They'll switch sides, and we are underway. Kalamazoo in their white third jerseys with blue and green trim. Fort Wayne in their orange jerseys with black and white trim. Boston Lear cuts to the net, has it roll off the toe of his stick and wide through the crease and into the corner. Lear gets it back, chips one towards the front, knocked down in front. Lear steps up, blasted, he scores! Boston Lear with a rocket, 20 seconds into the period. We're tied. The puck was kind of bouncing around for a bit, and in the slot it was knocked up to the top of the left circle, and Lear just stepped up and ripped it. 1-1, and Kalamazoo has started off the second period about as good as you could. A goal 20 seconds in, and in the second game back for Boston Lear, one of the assistant captains who missed 21 games with an upper body injury. He scores the first one since returning. He had an assist on the game winner Wednesday night against Kansas City, and for Lear, that is his 9th goal of the season. Face-off at center ice is won by A.J. Jenks. Stopped at the side of the net by Munson. Olivier Galipeau will direct traffic on the breakout. He'll lead it up the right wing for Petrozelli. Tied up on the play by Edmondson. All the way down, Kiley stops it at the side of his net, and Wilson will circle away from traffic. He puts on the brakes behind the cage. Austin Farley will get the lone assist. 20 seconds into the second period. Lear from Farley, and with that, Farley extends his point streak to 7 games, which is the second longest point streak of the season for Kalamazoo. Dylan Sadoway had one. He had a goal streak that was 8 games and a point streak that was 11 early in the year. Of course, Sadoway no longer with the K-Wings. He was traded by Utica to Bridgeport, as Utica had his rights all along, and Bridgeport reassigned Sadoway to the Worcester Railers as he makes his way back from an injury. Boston Lear ties this game at 1. Kalamazoo in their own end here. Wilson under pressure. Taylor angles it up the right wing, looking for Seamus Malone. Picked off in the neutral zone by Gottlieb. And Gottlieb plays it ahead to Baylis into the K-Wing slot. Baylis drops it off. Gottlieb backdoor shot, saved by Kiley, and he closes the pads together. It was Jason Binkley with that scoring chance, but he didn't get good wood on the shot as it kind of trickled over to his post, and Binkley got enough of the puck to deflect it on goal, but Kiley was able to close the pads together. 18:31 left in the second period. Face-off be to the right of Jake Kiley, the Eden Prairie, Minnesota native who played his college hockey at Clarkson and after his junior season signed an NHL contract with the Vancouver Canucks. Currently number 6 on that organization's depth chart. They have the 2 in Vancouver, Jeremy Markstrom and Thatcher Demko, and then in the AHL it's Zane McIntyre, Michael DiPietro, and Richard Bachman. Kiley starting off his pro career down here in Kalamazoo and getting the start tonight. The first time that the K-Wings have worn this 3rd jersey honoring their affiliation, so it just worked out that way. Mitch Elliott brought in on the left wing. Had to roll off his stick at the half wall. Tries to get it back. It comes to the point. Zach Fry is able to keep it in the zone for the moment, but the Komets try to clear, and it went off a skate. It was held in by Garrett Ross. Now on the right wing, Brennan Sanford at the half wall. Gottlieb tries to get it away from there, but Sanford gets the puck back, skates down low into the corner, threw it into the crease, off the paddle of Munson. Collected by Gage Torrel, who was activated from injured reserve today for Fort Wayne, and he'll drop it down into the Kalamazoo end. Mitch Elliott behind the net. He was another player Vancouver signed as an undrafted free agent last year. This one's deflected by Luke Sandler and flies up into the netting out of play. And the faceoff will stay in front. Actually, the faceoff will come back out to center ice right at the K-Wings logo. But Mitch Elliott in his rookie season has played most of it up in Utica, scored a couple of goals up there for the Utica Komets in 20 games. He's playing his 4th game in Kalamazoo. It's his first stint here in Kalamazoo since November, early November. Batted up the left wing boards and into the offensive zone. Fort Wayne will chase after it. It's Doherty getting there first. He finds Szydlowski. He'll saucer it across the rink for Łyszczarczyk, who taps it over now for Redekop. Now Łyszczarczyk top of the left circle. His shot's blocked by Catalyst. Bouncing puck. Farley is able to lead it out to center for Diamond Tony. Zach Diamond Tony into the offensive zone. Doesn't have the numbers yet. Stops in the corner. He's shoved by Doherty. Diamond Tony stays with it. Reverses it in behind the cage for Farley. Back to Diamond Tony. Tried to throw it out front. That's picked off. And it's pushed back up the middle of the ice and deflected out to center by Szydlowski. Played back across the rink again and carried in by Diamond Tony, but he had it poke checked, a delayed offside as Tho dumps it in from center, heads off on a change. 5 new skaters for Kalamazoo. Fort Wayne finds Anthony Petrozelli on the right wing, down into the K-Wings corner. Edmondson intercepts, leads it up the left wing for Van Voris. Taken away, though, and it's Bowden's across for Gottlieb. Gottlieb centers one off the toe of Kiley with the left pad. Back up to the point again, held in by Galipeau, dropped down into the corner for Jenks. Pushed up the right wing and out, swept to center by Taylor. Now Van Voris chasing after it. Gathered by Petrozelli, but he blew a tire over by the K-Wings bench and went to the ice as Fort Wayne now will have to try to avoid the forecheck put on by Seamus Malone. Gottlieb is able to get rid of it. Over now to Galipeau, working his way up the left wing to center ice. To the Kalamazoo blue line, Gottlieb stood up by Wilson. Van Voris collects the puck, angles it in behind his net. Past Edmondson, though. Now Malone tries to chip it out of the zone, and it just makes it to center ice. Under 16 minutes to play in the second period, we're tied 1-1 on Boston Lear's 9th goal of the season. Up the left wing. It bounced the stick of Justin Taylor. This is going to be icing on the K-Wings, and that's going to bring everything back down in front of Jake Kiley. So the face-off will be in front of the rookie goaltender here. Kalamazoo tying this game 20 seconds into the middle frame. Boston Lear with the goal. He had an assist on Wednesday on Matt Van Voris' game winner. Again, Lear missed 21 games with an injury he suffered December 13th in Cincinnati and made his return to the lineup Wednesday, and we asked Coach Bootlin about it in our pregame interview. It was like Lear never missed a beat. And he'll tell you maybe otherwise. He was probably a little exhausted at the end of some of his shifts, getting back into game shape again, but it looked like he didn't miss any time. Tonight he gets that first goal since coming back from the injury. Up to the left point, Gabriel Verpass has a shot tipped by Torrel. Save made by Kiley, and the K-Wings escape. Out to Van Voris, who couldn't quite catch the headman pass cleanly. Malone will regather it. Now Malone skates in with the move, right circle. Malone fires, saved by Munson. Rebound in the crease is cleared out of harm's way, but swatted all the way down, and this will be icing on Fort Wayne. With 15-13 left in the second period, faceoff will come all the way back down in front of Munson. But a nifty move by Seamus Malone making his ECHL debut. He's played in 28 games this season for Utica. Malone also played in 6 games at the end of last season with the Utica Komets after finishing his college career at the University of Wisconsin. 4-year career with the Wisconsin Badgers. His last 2 years he was an assistant captain. Face off to the right of Patrick Munson. Won by Fort Wayne, brought in behind the net, and it's led up the left wing and out to center by Pechnig, who took a big hit on the play by Sandler. Now blasted in on goal from the Kalamazoo blue line by Torrel. Kick save by Kiley, and Fry is able to work it across the rink and out to center for Garrett Ross. Ross will cut into the Komets zone. Hustling after it is Ganley down in the corner, challenged by Doherty. Ganley and Ross try to get it free. Galipeau comes over to help. Ross broke his stick there in the corner, has to head off for a new one. And Fort Wayne escapes to center. It's Drake Rymsha. Rymsha dumps it in from center. They wave off the icing as Łyszczarczyk beat the Kalamazoo defender to that hash mark. And it got the icing negated. Olivier Galipeau back in his own end. Ganley will close in after him. Galipeau gets rid of the puck. On the left wing now, Doherty lobs it high in the air. Knocked down at the K-Wings blue line, but followed up by Szydlowski. He had a stick lifted on the play. And it's taken away here and cleared out to center onto the tape of Diamond Tony. Diamond Tony goes across the rink for Lear. Bouncing puck in the right circle. Can't quite find it. Lear tries to get it back. Still hopping around. Lear turns and fires. And a blocker saved by Munson. That deflected out of play. With 14:04 left in the second period. Lear wasn't done yet. He wants more. After scoring the equalizer 20 seconds into the frame. Boy, those third jerseys are sharp. They've got every detail down to a point, including the font, similar to the Vancouver Canucks white jerseys. The only difference, though, is Vancouver has taken off the script lettering on the front of the jerseys that used to say Vancouver over the top of the logo. Kalamazoo kind of playing off of last year's Canucks white jerseys that had the word Vancouver just over the top of the logo. They have taken that off for this year's jersey. Vancouver has. Gottlieb down in the corner of his own end, heckled by Diamond Tony. Behind the net, Lear out front trying to find Farley, but it was deflected away by Jenks. Back in behind the cage, it is Redekop. Leads it up the left wing now for Bowdens. Bowdens challenged by Farley. Farley will chase him down behind the net. Bowdens stays with it. Reverses the puck, and the Komets are able to escape, but the pass was out of the reach of Redekop. Flutters into the Kalamazoo end. Catalyst collects it. Turns up the right wing. Has a man. It's Farley. 2-on-1 with Van Voris. Saucers it across. It's blocked. The trailer's Diamond Tony, but it hopped past him. Diamond Tony collects it. Left wing half wall. Tried to saucer it over for Tho, and that was intercepted. And back comes Fort Wayne the other way. It's Bowdens on the left wing. Winds up and blasts one. Stick save Kiley. And that winds up in the netting and out of play. 13:15 left in the second period. Timeout on the ice. 1-1 here at Wings Event Center. Boston Lear with his 9th of the year, tying things up early for Kalamazoo. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660 The Fan. Old Burdick's has burgers, beers, big screens, and we take watching the big game seriously. Grab a beer bucket, house-smoked wings, or a handcrafted burger, and take in the energy and excitement like you're at the game itself. Stop into either of the Old Burdick's locations, downtown Kalamazoo, inside of the Radisson Plaza Hotel, or at Wings West off of 9th Street. Make sure you stay up to date on what's happening with your Kalamazoo Wings during the team's 46th season by following us all year on social media. Like the Kalamazoo Wings hockey page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Kalamazoo Wings. Don't miss out on all the K-Wings breaking news, events, contests, prizes, and behind-the-scenes content. It's the year of the fan, so make your K-Wings moment today. Second period action here at Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo. The K-Wings and the Fort Wayne Komets tied up at 1. Boston Lear with the equalizer 20 seconds into the period. Lear's second game back from injured reserve. His 9th goal of the year. Face-off here won by the K-Wings, and they have numbers if they hurry, at least 3-on-2. Van Voris on the right wing, drops it off to the trailer. Edmondson fires, and a glove save by Munson. Munson with no rebound allowed. Point-blank wrist shot from Edmondson, and it just so happened he shot it right into Munson's catching glove. Munson's a terrific goaltender, and last time he was here at Wings Event Center, he had the K-Wings number. Almost a brick wall that night, but that one kind of felt like a look what I found as Edmondson tried to go low glove, and it just so happened that's where Munson's glove was. Didn't even really have to react to the shot, but he caught it clean with no rebound on that 3-on-2 K-Wings rush. Lifted off the glass and out. Here's Alan Lazarchuk. He'll dump it cross corner into the Kalamazoo end. Edmondson leads it up the left wing. Bouncing puck to center. Corralled in another 3-on-2 for the K-Wings if they hurry. Van Voris brought back in. Fires a shot. Blocker save. Rebound loose. Wilson shoots it and a save by Munson a second time. A third try is swept across to the right point. Seamus Malone. Stick handles down the wall. Top of the circle. Malone high in the slot. Dangles to the slot. Backhander. And it goes just wide as Munson was down with traffic in front of him. Taylor was also down at the edge of the crease. And the play was whistled down, I think, because Munson had no chance at getting into position to make a save there. The net was not dislodged, but I think Taylor maybe had bumped into Munson, and because Munson was knocked out of position, they whistled the play down. So if that puck had gone in, it would not have counted. But Seamus Malone with a stick-handling display that we haven't seen in a while, as he made a lot of people look foolish on his way to the net, eventually chipped a backhander wide, but it wouldn't have mattered as The play was whistled down. Here's the replay for those watching. Malone made one-man miss at the point, then went into the slot, made a second miss, then a third, and his backhander went wide of the net. But again, Munson was upended by Taylor, and that's why everything was halted. Mitch Elliott wraps it in around the Komet net. On the near side, Ganley tries to pinch. Elliott keeps it in. Doherty leads it up the middle and out, tape to tape for Jenks. Right wing Petrozelli into the offensive zone. He's shoved on the play by Fry. Back at center ice, Brennan Sanford bounces off a check. Sweeps it over to Elliott on the right wing into the zone. Elliott finds the trailer, a little behind Fry, but he kicks it onto his tape, wraps it in around the net. Ganley centers out front for Sanford. He couldn't get good wood on the shot. Now Elliott on the right wing half wall. Into the circle. Elliott wraps it in around the net. It's Tyler Ganley. Ganley looks for somebody to help him out here as he works against two Komet defensemen behind the cage. Eventually it's freed up by the captain, Jenks, and Galipeau is able to chop it to center for Petrozelli, and he'll rip it in over the top of the Kalamazoo net. Petrozelli and Fry go in at the same time. It's scooped up here by Mitch Elliott, and Elliott will go across the rink off the skate of Fry, collected by Sanford. He's pressured back to his own blue line and feeds it back over to Elliott. Mitch Elliott up the right wing this time. Onto the stick of Lear, who has help from Garrett Ross. Lear stays with it, dangles, he fires, and he shot it just wide on the glove side of Munson. But another nice move from Lear to create that scoring chance. Kalamazoo with the momentum here in the second period after tying the game. Shots are now 19-13 in favor of the K-Wings. Shot in around the Kalamazoo net. This is Aaron Tho. He'll circle the cage up the right wing side, lobs it to center, batted out of the air by Gage Torrel, followed up though by Lear, knocked into the Komets zone, and Redekop will chase after it in his own end. He's heckled by Farley. Farley knocks the puck away in the corner. Has help on the play now, but it comes out into the slot and was cleared out of harm's way by Binkley, but not out of the zone. Lear intercepted to keep it in. Left wing side Tho, his shot's blocked, bounces down into the right wing corner. Here's Diamond Tony at the half wall. He'll cycle it in behind the net. Redekop will get to the puck first in the corner. Threw it into the circle, but gave it to Van Voris, and then it's poke checked off his stick, and Łyszczarczyk's able to escape. Angling into the K-Wing zone. Quick outlet, though, by Catalyst. Brought back in now by Malone. He tried a toe drag, had it poke checked in the slot that time by Pechnig. And it's brought back out to center and fired in by Szydlowski down into the Kalamazoo end. Catalyst knocks it free, escapes up the middle. Ahead for Van Voris, but he couldn't quite catch it on his backhand. And in the neutral zone, it's led back up ice by Gabriel Verpass and deflected down deep into the K-Wings end. Ben Wilson challenged and hauled down on the play by Rymsha. Scooped up by Catalyst, fed up the middle for Van Voris out to center. Matt Van Voris will lift it down into the Fort Wayne corner, chases after it himself as Kalamazoo changes. Van Voris gets around a big hit from Verpass. The outlet pass is out of the reach of Bowdens. And the K-Wings have it at their own blue line. Fry will feed it up the middle for Sandler. Sandler pressured by Jenks. Gets free, has help from Ganley cutting to the net, but Verpass hustled over to knock him out of the play. Behind the net, Sandler shoved by Jenks. Sandler tries to get it free and does so. Left wing corner. Luke Sandler into the circle. Into the high slot. Drops it off. Fry blasts a shot. Tipped just wide by Ganley. Ganley just missed on the near post on the redirect. Up to the right point, Elliott. Elliott spins it right back in around the cage. Sandler lost an edge, but he's back to his feet. Centers out front, and a save by Munson. On the shot that time by Garrett Ross. Ross continues to work, but Jenks kicks it out of the corner, and it's lifted out to center by Gabriel Verpass. And back to retrieve is Mitch Elliott at his own line. Elliott left wing into the zone. Sandler left circle, shoots and a save. Rebound off the skate of Ganley, another save by Munson. And he covers up at the edge of the crease. And bodies flying everywhere. I don't think there was going to be any penalties yet, at least, but if this continues, we'll see. 9:04 remaining in the second period, still 1-1, and the shots are now 20-14 in favor of Kalamazoo. Face-off will be in front of Munson, who's been a busy man here in the second period. Sandler's initial shot was a stick save, but right out in front, the rebound went to Ganley. Couldn't quite get good wood on it. It caught his skate initially, tried to get a stick on it. Eventually Munson covered. And then a little bit of a mini scrum afterwards involving Luke Sandler and Will Pechnig. No surprise for either party. And they were separated, no penalties for either player. Face-off here won by Kalamazoo. It's Austin Farley, right wing circle. Creating space by dangling for a while, but then he's closed in on by Gage Torrel. Diamond Tony will help out Farley now. Right wing corner. Farley kicks it up to the line. Held in Catalyst. Down low Diamond Tony had a stick lifted by Doherty. And because of that, Munson's able to cover. Strong play by Taylor Doherty as Diamond Tony had a step low in the right circle and a chance to get something to the net, but he was caught quickly by that long reach of Taylor Doherty, 6'8", 236. Face-off will be to the left of Munson. Kalamazoo has Diamond Tony, Lear, and Farley with Tho and Catalyst. 8:46 remaining in the second period, 1-1. Diamond Tony gets ready to take the face-off against Jenks. Jenks will win the draw into the corner. Galipeau lifts it high off the glass and out. Catalyst chased by two Komets. Bowdens follows it in. Catalyst with the poke check. Catalyst gets the bouncing puck across to Tho. Up the left wing for Farley, who spins off a check. Diamond Tony skates in on the left wing. Stops at the half wall. Finds Catalyst behind the back. Backdoor pass. Nobody was home on the far post, but Lear made one too many passes. It would have been a terrific goal if somebody was there to hammer it home. Unfortunately, there was nobody there, but Lear with the heads-up touch pass, hoping and praying somebody was at the opposite side of the crease. Munson would have had no chance on that play had there been a body on that far post for Kalamazoo. There was not, and the Komets dodged the bullet. Munson was about 3 feet outside his crease on the opposite post where that pass was intended. Here's the replay again. Lear threw it over, and Catalyst was in the vicinity, but he was knocked down and couldn't get back to his feet. He was checked on the play by Galipeau. Pushed in behind the net, Edmondson. Behind the cage, Seamus Malone. Pressured by Doherty. Right wing corner, it's Van Voris. Van Voris is checked by Jenks. Bounces off of it, stays with it. Now Doherty. It's picked off behind the net, Malone. Bounces back over to Van Voris, left corner, up top. Edmondson, a shot, they score! It was tipped in front, it's 2-1. Kalamazoo's got their first lead. Ian Edmondson with a rocket from the left circle again. Same spot where Lear scored earlier. I don't think Taylor got that one. I think it's Edmondson who's going to get the goal. And Ian Edmondson will have his third of the year. Taylor provided the screen. It was a good forecheck behind the net by, you guessed it, Matt Van Voris. And the pass came up to Edmondson. Edmondson fired it past Munson. Time of the goal will be 11:58. And Kalamazoo has a 2-1 lead on their 23rd shot. That was the K-Wings' 9th shot of this second period already. And they have two unanswered in the middle frame and take the 2-1 lead. Ben Wilson angles it up the right wing for Van Voris, who now has points in 8 of his last 9 games with that setup pass to Edmondson. Alan Łyszczarczyk down in the left wing corner for Fort Wayne. Tries to find Szydlowski. Szydlowski carries it to the point. Threw it off a skate. That was Rymsha, but it was then blocked by Taylor. Rymsha goes in after it behind the net, wrapped up by Wilson. Taylor collects the puck. He'll lift it out to center looking for Van Voris. It hops past him, but he'll beat the Komet defense to it, and Munson's forced to cover it up there as Van Voris was charging in. And because of that, the Komets cannot get a line change as it was dumped all the way down from the K-Wing zone. The goaltender covers on a play like that that's shot in from beyond center ice. New rule this year as the defending team is not allowed to get a change. Face-off will be to the right of Munson. It'll be Edmondson's goal at 11:58 from Van Voris and Malone, and that'll be the first assist of his ECHL career for Seamus Malone. Face-off won by Drake Rymsha. Pushed around the left wing boards, Łyszczarczyk, but this will go back into the Kalamazoo end. Elliott will catch up to it as icing is waved, and Fort Wayne can get that line change they needed, but the couple players collide. One coming off the bench, it was Stephen Baylis. One going off the ice, and Alan Łyszczarczyk. Now it's thrown out front, and Baylis collects it and scores, and he ties the game at 2. Stephen Baylis capitalizes on a Kalamazoo turnover in their own end. He was all alone in front, and he chipped it past the blocker of Jake Kiley, and this game is tied again. Time of the goal is going to be 12:55 of the second period, and you can kind of hear some of the Fort Wayne faithful here in attendance tonight ringing their cowbells as Stephen Baylis has put some life back into this Komet team that only had 4 shots in this second period up to that one. And it was Baylis who was bumped into by his own teammate, Alan Łyszczarczyk, on the line change. And when he got back to his feet and joined his teammates in the offensive zone, he was in the right place at the right time to capitalize on that turnover. Stephen Baylis has his 3rd goal of the year, and this game is tied again. It's 2-2. Angled up the left wing, but picked off by Torrel. His stick was lifted, and it's brought back out. Here comes Austin Farley into the offensive zone. Right wing, Boston Lear. Back to Farley. He's checked out out of the play, but now in the corner, Farley gets it back. Right circle, walks out front, threw it off a skate, and Diamond Tony scoops it up. He threw it off a Komets skate. That was Gabriel Verpass, who broke up the centering feed. Verpass lifts it to the line. Knocked down at the point by Farley, and he holds the zone. Then at the half wall, though, it's lifted out high in the air by Verpass, and Elliott will feed it D to D for Fry. Fry up the middle of the ice, Farley into the offensive zone, but he's poke-checked on the play by Pechnig. And here is Verpass skating away from Diamond Tony. Pechnig behind his net, fanned on the clear, but he has help from Petrozelli, who leads it out to center ice for Bowdens. Bowden stick handles, but lost in the skates of Fry at the Kalamazoo blue line. Gloved by Petrozelli and dumped in around the glass, this time behind the Kalamazoo net. 6:05 remaining in the second period. It's 2-2 here at Wings Event Center. Van Voorhis putting the pressure on. Now Gottlieb down in the right wing corner. Threw it out front. It's deflected to the line. Jenks will hold the zone. Left circle. His pass went off a skate. Now at the point. Back over to Jenks. Left wing half wall. Rips the shot. Saved by Kiley. And he'll collect that one as he hangs on for the faceoff. We're going to get a penalty here, though. I'm not sure who it's on. Slashing's going to be the call as Kiley made that save. And perhaps Fort Wayne's going to get a power play here. I think they might be sending Kalamazoo to the box. We have a timeout on the ice. We'll find out who's shorthanded when we come back. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Ever wish you could visit Italy but just can't afford it? Don't worry. Jasper's Pizza and Fine Italian Food will be your tour guide as you go on a culinary tour of Italy. With the best ingredients shipped straight from Italy, Jasper's made-from-scratch sauces, pastas, and pizza won't disappoint. Jasper's, located at 5190 Gull Road, is the place to go for all your pizza and pasta needs. Jasper's has been in business since 1977 and still serving the great food today. Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plans. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com.
Zach Fry's second penalty of tonight's game, a slashing call in front of his own net, gives Fort Wayne their third power play of this game. The Komets are 1 for 2 thus far. Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne going back and forth. Both teams have led in this game. Both teams have answered the call and tied things up. We're 2-2 with just under 6 minutes to play in the second period, but the Komets dominating power play will get their third opportunity. Gottlieb, left wing wall, Bowdens up at the point. Matthew Bowdens will skate it down to the half wall. In the circle, gets it back from Petrozelli. Beneath the goal line now is Jenks. Right circle, Szydlowski blasts a shot that's blocked and goes out of play. Wilson got in front of that bomb from Sean Szydlowski. Face-off will stay in the Kalamazoo end. 5:29 left in the second period. A minute 42 remaining on the slashing minor to Zach Fry. Again, K-Wings goals here in this second period. The equalizer was Boston Lear 20 seconds into the frame. The go-ahead goal was Ian Edmondson. But then Fort Wayne tied it up on a goal by Stephen Baylis about a minute ago. The puck's pushed in behind the Kalamazoo net. Edmondson challenged by Petrozelli. Komets on their third power play. Coming in second in the ECHL, just under 25%. Pass goes down low to Jenks. Knocked out of midair to the high slot. Bowdens will scoop it up there, and he'll settle everything down. To the line, it's Gottlieb. Gottlieb goes over to Szydlowski. Right circle, winds up and rips it. Fought off by Kiley. Now Jenks in the corner, heckled by Wilson. Edmondson closes off that pass. Sails it off the glass. Taylor tries to bat it out, can't do so. It's held in by Szydlowski. Saucer to the line, Gottlieb. Top of the left circle, Bowdens. A minute and 5 seconds left on this power play. Gottlieb, right circle, Szydlowski, slap pass, they score. Jenks tipped it in, and Fort Wayne's 2 for 3 on the power play. This might be the best I've ever seen a team on the power play in my career. I think if Kalamazoo could go the rest of time without ever seeing Fort Wayne get a power play opportunity, they'd be happy. This Komets team is 2 for 3 tonight. It's their 6th time this year in 10 meetings they've scored multiple power play goals against Kalamazoo. It's unbelievable. It's their 18th power play goal in 10 meetings. About a 45 to 48% clip now against Kalamazoo. 18 for 41. It's 3-2. Fort Wayne's back in front. A.J. Jenks gets the goal. It's his 14th. So the K-Wings now have to play from behind again. Stephen Baylis, left wing circle, rips a shot wide on the glove side of Kiley. Kicked down into the corner, but held in at the point again by Galipeau. His shot makes it through traffic, and Kiley is able to make the save and prevent a rebound. Jenks from Szydlowski and Gottlieb at 15-14 like clockwork for Fort Wayne on the man advantage. Kalamazoo's penalty kill, too, had improved quite a bit over the last stretch of games. They were perfect on the penalty kill against Kansas City on Wednesday. Across their 6-game season-long road trip, they also were very good on the kill. Didn't allow any power play goals against Cincinnati last Saturday. But against this Fort Wayne team, for whatever reason, it's been almost like a coin flip whether or not Fort Wayne scores. And tonight, 2 for 3. And the life has kind of come out of this building as Kalamazoo scored twice in the first half of the second period to take their first lead 2-1. And the Komets since have scored twice, including that last power play goal from their captain, A.J. Jenks. Face off to the left of Kiley. Won by the Komets. Szydlowski to the point, Galipeau. He'll dump it back down into the far corner. Diamond Tony knocks it free. Left wing Farley. And it's knocked back out to center and all the way down, but this is going to be icing on Kalamazoo. 4:04 left in the second period. Shots are 24-19. You could make a case that Kalamazoo has been the better team tonight. The score would not indicate that case. But again, Fort Wayne 2 for 3 on the power play, and that's been the difference. Kalamazoo is 0 for 3 on the power play themselves. Off the draw, Diamond Tony with it. He'll lead it to the line, but it's held in by Rymsha. Thrown back into the slot, broken up, and trying to dangle out to center was Farley. Couldn't do so the first time, but now he's got it. Austin Farley at center has it poke checked. It comes across the rink. Stepping up was Tho. Farley will reverse it back to Catalyst. Tapped over to Tho, and up the left wing, Diamond Tony. Farley chases after it, and Redekop got there at the same time. Petrozelli will lead it out to center ice. Diamond Tony right back in. Run off on the play by Petrozelli. And the Komets will push it in behind the net for Redekop. Led up the left wing for Jenks. And Jenks lobs it out to center ice. Edmondson back up the left wing, Farley. Deflected in behind the net. Chased after by Van Voris with help from Taylor down in the left wing corner with 3:15 to play here in the second. Here's Seamus Malone. He drops it off to Taylor. Centers for Van Voris. He's spun around by Redekop. Van Voris pushes it wide. Taylor behind the net now. Justin Taylor with the puck. Taylor tries to go to Van Voris. Broken up in the circle. And the puck comes up the left wing and out. It's Matthew Bowdens. Tries to chip it in around Wilson, who catches up to it. Knocks it into the corner behind the net. Wilson finds Malone in the left corner. He's checked but gets rid of the puck. Van Voris will lead it out to center. It's intercepted in the neutral zone by Galipeau, who motors right back in. Fort Wayne also playing a man short tonight due to some injuries and those 2 suspensions we mentioned earlier. Wilson in behind his net. He'll reverse it over to Taylor on the left wing, and Taylor will launch it to center for Malone. It was in his skates as Gottlieb will collect the puck with 2:25 remaining here in the second period. Turnover, though, as Malone picked it off in the neutral zone. Then it was given back, and here comes Galipeau into the Kalamazoo end. Winds and fires. Pad save Kiley. Smothers the rebound, and a collision at the net between Torrel and Edmondson sends Kiley toppling into a pretzel. Not sure who was at fault, but it doesn't matter. There will be a little bit of a conversation afterwards between the two teams, and Kiley's now back to his feet. 2:12 left here in the second period. 3-2 Fort Wayne. Shots are 24-20. I think that was the 20th Komets shot. They already had 19 up on the board before that one, which means the shots are even here in the second period, 10-10. First period, it was 14-10 Kalamazoo. Garrett Ross on the faceoff dot, going up against Drake Rymsha. Won by the K-Wings, but then pushed back to the Kalamazoo blue line, and Fry will circle it over for Elliott on the right wing. Mitch Elliott leads it up the wing for Ganley. Broken up by Gottlieb at his own blue line. With help from Rymsha and Łyszczarczyk, now it's Gottlieb in his own end, playing a D-to-D. Up the right wing, it's brought out by Olivier Galipeau again. Left wing now, Łyszczarczyk saucers it into the circle, out of the reach of Rymsha. Fry hustles back to retrieve, has help back there by Ross. And Zach Fry will now escape with one glove. Leads it across for Sandler. And broken up by Gottlieb in the circle. He finds Łyszczarczyk. 90 seconds to play here in period number 2. Brought back in by Szydlowski. Dangles in the high slot. Former MVP of the ECHL a couple seasons ago. Sends it into the corner for Gottlieb. Into the left circle, it's A.J. Jenks who has the go-ahead goal on that last Fort Wayne power play. Galipeau centers. Tipped just wide by Łyszczarczyk. Back over on the left wing side, Petruzzelli takes a check from Catalyst. Back down in the corner now, Elliott shovels it up the boards, scoops it up and launches it over the head of Galipeau. Chasing after it was Sandler, but Galipeau gets to the puck. Sandler lost his stick, and Petruzzelli flings it back across the seam. Bowden's on the right wing. Bowden stops there for Fort Wayne up at the point. Feeds it over to Pechnik, left circle, bounces it on goal. Kiley steers it into the corner with 48 seconds to play here in the second period. Coming up in the intermission, we'll have the ECHL plays of the week. Battle won by Fort Wayne, wrapped out front by Pechnik. Petruzzelli into the crease. Loose puck corralled by Lear. He'll lob it back out to center. It's gloved by Doherty. Doherty pressured. It's turned over. Farley on a breakaway to the net to his backhand. He scores! Austin Farley calls for the ovation after dangling and fighting through traffic and sweeping it through the 5-hole of Munson. Ties the game at 3. What a goal from Farley. He was hooked up by Doherty on the play. Almost assuredly would have been a penalty or a penalty shot. It won't matter as Farley scores. It went off the glove of Doherty, hopped on him, and Farley poke-checked it. He was hooked up going to the net. He went forehand, backhand, 5-hole. And ties it up at 3 with 25 seconds left in the second period. Second point of the game for Farley. What an addition he's been to the lineup. Face-off at center ice. Late in the period. Wilson at his own blue line. D-to-D for Edmondson. Deflected in from center by Seamus Malone. Radikop behind his net. Heckled by Van Voris. Final 15 seconds of the second period. Van Voris and Taylor dig for it. Torrel gets free. Radikop hauls down Van Voris behind the net. The puck comes back out to center. 7 seconds to play. Edmondson leads it up the left wing and down, and this will do it for the second period. There will be an icing whistle at the horn. I don't think they will call the icing. I think the period will come to an end. Kalamazoo with 3 goals in the second period. They gained the lead, gave it up. Fort Wayne then took the lead on a late power play. Austin Farley tied it with 25.5 seconds remaining in the period, unassisted, at 19:35 to even the score at 3-3. We'll come back with the ECHL plays of the week after this. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey. Again, the second period, by the way, brought to you by Old Burdix and Old Burdix at Wings West. It's K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Do you want to stop the suffering of aches and pains? Are you wanting to look, feel, and live better? Would you like to recover faster to get yourself back on the playing field? U.S. Cryotherapy is the place for you. Located off of West Nidge, we offer whole body and localized treatments as well as many others, from the everyday person to pro athletes. We've got something for everyone. Call us today at 269-993-0947 for more information, or go online to uscryotherapy.com. U.S. Cryotherapy, the official recovery center of your Kalamazoo Wings.
Zemlick Office Products is a second-generation, family-owned company with 5 different locations based in Southwest Michigan. They can supply everything for your office, church, school, or break room. They carry it all, from ink, toner, and paper, to furniture, safety vests, and light bulbs. Zemlick serves customers of all sizes in Michigan and northern Indiana. There is no customer too small or too large. Place your order today via their website at zemlick.com, or you can give them a call at 866-936-5425.
When you're getting ready for a move, look no further than Allied Van Lines. Their world-class crew of full-service movers will make sure your moving gets done quickly and carefully. Whether your next move is in residential transfer across the interstate or corporate relocation around the world, Allied's team knows exactly how to help. Get your free quote today by calling 269-345-6111.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 32nd season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, official signage provider; ANR Sports, official hockey accessory supplier; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Risk and Insurance, and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2020 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Emphasis Lighting, the preferred lighting partner of the ECHL. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Geico, official auto insurance of the ECHL. Handbit, the official mobile auction app. Honig's, the official partner of the ECHL officiating team. Howie's Hockey Tape, official hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, official puck provider. My Grey Group, your source for game-worn jerseys. Ticket Galaxy, official ticket resale partner. And Warrior, official on-ice equipment provider of the ECHL. Catch all the live ECHL action in high definition by logging on to ECHL.tv.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Are we going to hear the same ridiculous negative commentaries on Shanahan that we heard on Andy Reid for years, that he can't win the big game? He was the offensive coordinator that lost a lead to a guy named Tom Brady. Maybe you watched him, he's pretty good. Patrick Mahomes happened. That's not on Kyle Shanahan. Am I supposed to believe he now can't coach?
Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at noon on 1660 The Fan.
Here with your ECHL Plays of the Week. This is voice of the Reading Royals, David Fine. The Adirondack Thunder faced off against the Maine Mariners for the 15th time this season back on Saturday night. Third period, 2-2 game. Mariners on an odd man rush, but Thunder netminder Evan Cormier made a show-stopping save that helped Adirondack force overtime and earn a point.
Side of the crease, it's picked up by the Mariners where Greg Chase comes to center ice. A chance for the Mariners. Day walks in, shoots Cormier the save. He reached behind him. He held on to it. What a save by Evan Cormier, keeping the game tied with 4.5 to go. The shot handcuffed him. It went behind him, and he put his glove behind his back and reeled it in for the whistle.
That's the call from Evan Pivnik on the Curtis Lumber Thunder radio network, featuring the Capital Region's only professional hockey team. The Indy Fuel's Spencer Watson has been on a tear since returning from the AHL. He's got 6 points in his last 4 games. 5 of those are goals, and with this goal in the third period Saturday night against Toledo, Watson hit a milestone.
3-on-2 across the line for the Fuel. McIntyre, far side Watson, fires, scores! Spencer Watson from the right wing circle gives the Fuel a 2-1 lead as Spencer rifles home his 25th of the year. The Fuel, again, textbook execution on the odd man rush, and you find the hot stick, Spencer Watson, able to give the Fuel a lead.
Josh McArdle makes a tremendous defensive play at his own blue line to be able to get this puck up to the forwards, stop the rush. And how about that shot? I mean, what else can you say? Spencer Watson continues to have the hot hand for the Indy Fuel.
That's Andrew Smith and Nick Olchek on IndyFuelHockey.com. Watson's goal clinched the 5th 25-goal season in Fuel history. It also helped propel Indy to a 3-2 victory over Toledo. How about the Fuel standing up to the Walleye? They're 7-1 against the Walleye this season, clinching the season series between the two teams for the first time in franchise history. The Orlando Solar Bears fell behind 2-1 to the Wheeling Nailers on Saturday. Rich Boyd scored a late first period goal to tie the score at 2 for Orlando. Solar Bears were on a power play in the second, and a Tampa Bay Lightning prospect stepped up for the Solar Bears.
To Brodzinski, 10 seconds left on the power play. LeBlanc left side, across, Liponov, a shot, score! Alexei Liponov! It's a power play goal, and the Solar Bears regain the lead. It's 3-2 Orlando. Liponov with his 9th of the season and his 6th power play goal of the year. He becomes the first Solar Bears rookie to score 6 power play goals in a season. This kid is lethal.
Call from Jesse Liebman on the Orlando Solar Bears radio network. Reading Royals forward Trevor Gooch capped off one of the wildest openings to a second period in recent memory. The Royals and Worcester combined for 6 goals in 4.5 minutes. Reading netted 5 of those.
Flick back to him, punches it to Beaudry, races up.
Save, rebound, score! Trevor Gooch once more on his knees, 6-2. The Royals have gone crazy in the heart of the Commonwealth.
Gooch was rewarded, won in Glasgow ECHL Player of the Week. He scored 5 goals in 2 games, which doubled his season's goal totals in just a weekend. Leading by only one, 2:02 left in regulation, and the Florida Everblades staved off the South Carolina Stingrays as they tried to push their winning streak to a season-high 8 games. Cam McLeese stepped up for the second time in the third period, and Florida, with this goal 26 seconds after Dan DeSalvo of South Carolina's tally, put the Blades back ahead by 2 to nail down another win.
And Thompson was thinking about going to the bench, but doesn't go yet. Tying up his Coper. Got a piece of it, though, so no icing behind the net. It's Magler for Florida, centered all on McLeese. Shoots it. He scores! Cam McLeese from Magwood, and the 2-goal lead is back, and Florida may have just iced this game.
Call from our friend and yours, Dan Corcoran, on WJBX, News Talk and more. After coming off a split back-to-back nights earlier in the week against the Utah Grizzlies, the Gladiators faced division rival Norfolk. Atlanta saw a record crowd, more than 10,000, and set a new record for teddy bear tosses in their 16th annual occasion. It was Scott Conway's goal that made it rain.
Looking for a shot, passes it in front, shooting, save, tipped and scores! The Gladiators score here. Scott Conway lights the lamp. It's teddy bear toss time. Let the barrage of bears begin.
Call from Ira Liebman on 1680 The Fan. Twice Thursday, the Kalamazoo Wings fell behind by a goal and proceeded to score 2 in less than a minute each of those times in an eventual 5-3 win in Indianapolis. Zach Diamond Toney scored the first of 5 at the end of a chaotic scramble in front of the Indy net in the first period.
Pinned up against the corner boards by Ryzek. Farley gets it free. Up at the point, a wrist shot. Backler the save. Collision at the net. Loose in the crease. A shot. Backhander is stopped by Backler. Rebound. They score! Zach Diamond Toney out of a net mouth scramble. He ties the game at 1 with 13:27 left in the first period.
The win extended Kalamazoo's streak to 3 and the point streak to 4 during a season-long 6-game road trip. Call from John Peterson on AM 1660 The Fan. A 2-1 battle against Kansas City on Saturday, and Charlie Samper changed the momentum of the game. He scored his second of 3 goals in a 4-minute span, a highlight reel wraparound goal past Tyler Parsons.
Liberati backhands it over to J.J. Pickenich inside the line. Charlie Samper cuts to the net around, wraparound, he scores! 3-1, Tulsa, their biggest lead of the week, just after they get their first. And with 3:24 remaining in the middle frame, it's a 2-goal lead off the wraparound chance from Charlie Samper. Samper's 11th on the year.
Call from Zach Reynolds on the Sports Animal Radio Network in Tulsa. The Idaho Steelheads opened their longest home stretch of the season last week. 13 of their next 15 games in Boise in the middle of a very tight Mountain Divisional race. The stretch started with elation on Friday night, hosting Rapid City. Down 2-0 headed into the second period, Idaho pieced together a comeback that left even Colin Shuck, the voice of the Steelheads, baffled. Here's the call on 1350 KTIK The Ticket.
And now the Steelheads break up 2-on-1. Brady Norris joins the rush for Zapinski. Right wing side flicks it back in front for Zapinski. Tries for the shot, is denied by Tayfield at point blank range. Throws it from behind, he scores! Game, set, match, Bilko! I have no idea how that found the back of the net, but from Zapinski in down low, finds a friendly bounce, and the Steelheads complete the comeback 3-2 in overtime.
Steelheads with 5 comeback wins on the season after the second period. That's the second most in the Premier AA Hockey League. They have the second best record when trailing after 2 periods this season. That OT winner was the Steelheads' 8th of the year, and they renew their rivalry with the Utah Grizzlies at home this upcoming weekend. No tissues needed when you visit Greenville. The Swamp Rabbits offense at home, nothing to sneeze at. Through 27 games on home ice, they're 1 short of the century mark. 99 goals at home, good for second most in the league. It was the lone game of Super Bowl Sunday, and Lincoln Griffin added this goal to cap the scoring in an explosive victory over the Atlanta Gladiators.
Look out, here's a chance. Griffin's got a breakaway now. To the backhand, he scores! The Glads overstated, and Lincoln Griffin, his first in the ECHL, A backhander in between the pads of Chris Nell. That's 9.
Call from Jordan Coons on the Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network. We finish with a story that'll warm your heart. One of the Maine Mariners specialty jerseys last weekend were designed by Maine's Make-A-Wish kid Ellie, who's 11 years old. Seeking a sweep of Adirondack, Michael McNicholas ended the game happy for all in attendance in Portland, including little Ellie.
He's got Day to nudge it up to Chase, who leaves it there to McNicholas. Up to Chase. Here come the Mariners with speed. Chase across the line, leaves it there to Day. Day to McNicholas. Off the crossbar. Did it go in? They say yes. Michael McNicholas under the bar on Make-A-Wish night for the 3,400 plus in attendance. And for Ellie Labrie.
That win is a special one for Michael Keeley on the Mariners Broadcast Network as the Mariners improved to 7-1-1 in extra time this season. Really, thanks for listening, everyone. We hope everyone enjoys their Valentine's Day the rest of February. Schedules are going to get very hectic for most ECHL teams in the next few weeks, so we'll have lots more plays to describe for you the rest of the season. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy the hockey.
Thank you, David. That was David Fine of the Reading Royals with the ECHL Plays of the Week. It's 3-3 after 40 minutes here in Kalamazoo. We're back with more in our second intermission. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660 The Fan.
We're the home of the Chicago Cubs, K-Wings, WMU Women's Basketball, and high school sports. 1660 The Fan, WQLR, Kalamazoo, Portage.
Positivity. It's more than a saying. It's the driving force behind our health system. It's in our employees, our providers, our patients. It's in the choices we make to improve healthcare for you and the ways we work together to advance the health of our community. At Bronson, we live positivity because positivity is what inspires us to go above and beyond. Find out what it can do for you at bronsonpositivity.com or follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, my friends are surprised I'm here tonight. Every time a good show came through, I had an excuse. I gotta take care of the kids. I gotta work late. Honestly, I just didn't have room in the budget. Recently, I found out I could save a ton of money by transferring my credit cards and auto loan to Advia Credit Union, and it was simple. Now I have my own concert fund set aside and am ready to rock at a moment's notice. I just don't remember it being this loud in college.
It's simple. Transfer your loans to Advia Credit Union online or at a branch. We'll handle the rest. All loans subject to approval. Rates and terms may vary based on creditworthiness of borrower.
Craig Culver and daughter Brittany on Culver's Chicken Tenders.
Brittany, I know you're particular about what your boys eat.
Chicken tenders rank high on my list. It doesn't have fillers. It's a whole piece of chicken.
Chicken tenders are the true tenderloin of the breast.
When you bite into it, it's like you're biting into an actual chicken breast that you just made at home.
If it's not good enough for my family, it's not good enough.
That's a good rule to live by.
Welcome to Delicious.
Enjoy the farm fresh taste of Culver's at one of 4 area locations.
Host your event at Wings Event Center. With a hospitality-first mentality, you can rest easy knowing your event is in good hands. Conveniently located directly off I-94 in Kalamazoo with top-notch technological capabilities, in-house catering available, and intimate to large event spaces, you'll be set up for success at Wings Event Center. Visit wingseventcenter.com to learn more about booking your next event in Kalamazoo.
We get it. Life doesn't always let you do everything you want. With the Kalamazoo Wings 5 and 3 packs, you get the best games, the best seats, and the best food at one low price. You can enjoy all the hard-hitting action without breaking the bank or missing out on any big games. Packages are limited, so pick up the phone and call 269-488-8158 or go online to kwings.com to get yours ordered today. Don't wait because they'll be gone before you know it.
Second intermission here at Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo. A back-and-forth game between the Kalamazoo Wings and the Fort Wayne Komets. It is 3-3 after 40 minutes, and we are a couple minutes away from the drop of the puck in the third. A tying goal from Austin Farley on a breakaway with 25.5 seconds left in the second period brought us to 3-3. With Kalamazoo scoring 3 times in that middle frame. We'll see what's in store here in the third coming up in a moment. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660 The Fan. Old Burdick's has burgers, beers, big screens, and we take watching the big game seriously. Grab a beer bucket, house-smoked wings, or a handcrafted burger, and take in the energy and excitement like you're at the game itself. Stop into either of the Old Burdick's locations, downtown Kalamazoo, inside of the Radisson Plaza Hotel, or at Wings West off of 9th Street. Hey fans, be sure to check out ECHL.TV, the live streaming destination for the 2019-20 season. Catch all the latest live action from across the premier AA Hockey League, including multi-game high-definition view and playback functionality on both your PC, mobile, and OTT devices. Visit ECHL.TV today to get into the game and never miss the action.
Hey, we just landed. We'll be home in 10 minutes.
The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Safe, simple, convenient. Going out or coming home, it's the hassle-free way to travel, with parking right outside the new terminal. And now, AZO is even easier. That's right. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport is easier than distant airports, and easier than ever before, right in your backyard. Now there are more flights with larger jets, more first-class seats, a new Comfort Plus class with extra legroom, and introducing new basic economy fares. Whether you're traveling for business or leisure, flying in and out of AZO improves your entire experience. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Fly home. Be home.
Looking for a fun, fast-paced way to spend your weekend or night out with coworkers and friends? With packages for 10 friends or 200 coworkers, look no further than K-Wings Hockey. With on-site catering and private event spaces available, a K-Wings hockey game is the perfect place to enjoy the company of whoever you want while watching Kalamazoo's only professional sports team. Call us today at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com for more information or to book your group today.
Here we go, one period to play here in Kalamazoo. It is 3-3 after 40 minutes. Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne all square in Central Division play here tonight. We are underway here in the third period. Max Gottlieb's pass across the seam will miss his target, which was Rymsha. It'll be icing, and that'll bring everything back in front of Patrick Munson. Our first whistle comes 7 seconds into the third period. K-Wings have Zach Diamond-Tony out there with Boston Lear and Austin Farley. 2 goals from this line tonight. Lear has 1, Farley has 1. Lear's 20 seconds into the second period. Farley's with 25 seconds remaining in the second period. Face-off controlled by the Komets. Max Gottlieb works his way up the left wing, lobs it out to center. It's Farley tapping it back to his defense. Aaron Tho D-to-D. And it's pushed up the right wing by Catalyst. Here's Diamond-Tony, chased by Redekop and shoved into the corner boards. Play continues, though, as it comes over to the near corner, and a big hit thrown by Boston Lear, that time on Gottlieb. Down in the corners, Diamond-Tony spins away from Gottlieb. The puck caught the official's skate. It was Cameron Fleming, our referee tonight. Led up the left wing. Good pressure by Diamond-Tony, though, at the takeaway, keeping it in the zone. Left circle, Lear fires short side. He just missed the net on the near post. That'll come back out to center ice. Catalyst back ahead for Farley. Dangles into the offensive zone. Farley in the high slot gets free again, but then had it poke checked at the last minute. Push back out to center for Bowdens from Petrozelli. Right back to Anthony Petrozelli. Left wing side for Fort Wayne into the Kalamazoo end. Petrozelli's pass is knocked away by Edmondson. Swept back out to center, and Fort Wayne will regroup in the neutral zone. It's Olivier Galipeau. That's given away, though, as Matt Van Voris rips it in around the Fort Wayne net. And Munson slows it down back there for Olivier Galipeau, who's chased by Seamus Malone. Petrozelli tries to clear it up the middle. Jenks leads it up the left wing for Bowdens. Onto the stick of Doherty. And on the right wing, it's Petrozelli, who rips a shot. Glove save by Jake Kiley with 18:32 left in the third period. Face-off will go to the left of Kiley. Kalamazoo's got Malone, Van Voris, and Taylor. 3-3 the score. Shots are 25-21 in favor of the K-Wings. A big 2 points at stake in the Central Division. Gage Sherrill on the draw going up against Taylor. Taylor wins it. It's played D-to-D. Wilson Up ahead, Van Voorst lobs it off the far boards and out. Malone tied up for the moment with Doherty, and that allows Galipeau to come over to help. He leads it back to center. Wilson stick handles as he's chased by Baylis into his own end. He'll saucer it over to Edmondson. Back across the rink now. It's Seamus Malone, but that's poke checked by Galipeau. And Malone back in his own end now. Stick handles. Galipeau fell down. Malone up ahead for Van Voorst, but it hopped his stick. Doherty played it behind his back. Baylis catches up to it, leads it up the left wing through the neutral zone. Malone back into his own end for Zach Fry. Fry up the left wing. Van Voorst got a piece of it as it goes all the way down, and Kalamazoo completes the line change. Garrett Ross charging in after it. Now Sandler puts the pressure on the left wing, but it's knocked out to center for Szydlowski. He'll circle back into his own zone away from Ross. Sean Szydlowski leaves it back for Galipeau. 17:40 remaining in the third. Still 3-3. On the right wing's Gabriel Verpass. Verpass will skate across his zone. He fanned on the D-to-D feed, but now gets it back and finds Galipeau on the right wing. Up the middle of the ice now and in comes Łyszczarczyk. Drops it off to Szydlowski into the slot. Backhander and a save by Kiley with the blocker. Then it went off the back of the Kalamazoo net. Fry lost his stick, tried to clear, couldn't do so. Down low behind the cage, centered out front. Szydlowski fires, fought off by Kiley, who scrambles to get back into position. Gabriel Verpass keeps it in. Down in the corner, Szydlowski behind the net. Szydlowski chased by Ross. One-timer Verpass. He shot it wide, partially fanned on it. Now Drake Rymsha is driven into the boards on the near side by Mitch Elliott. It's lobbed out to center by Sandler. It'll roll on edge. Icing is waved, and Kalamazoo can change all 5 skaters. Dangerous there, though, as Fort Wayne had a couple of really good chances on that last shift. Kalamazoo now gets a fresh unit out there. It's Lear, Farley, and Diamond Tony. Brought back in by Petruzzelli, and he's poke-checked in the K-wing circle. Bowden's at the right point. Walks the blue line. Carries it to the left circle. Rips a shot. Fought off by Kiley with the blocker. On the right wing, it's Aaron Tho. Tho angles it out towards center. Lear took a hit in open ice there by Redekop. Again, the player that is playing his first game for Fort Wayne, sent down from Ontario. Head coach Nick Bootland was shouting at the officials. He thought there should have been an interference call when Redekop hit Lear, but to no avail. But there is an icing on the Komets, and that'll bring everything back down in front of Patrick Munson. Face-off will be to the left of Munson. 3-3 the score. Kalamazoo with an offensive zone face-off. Zach Diamond Tony will take the draw. It's won by the Komets. Max Gottlieb leads it up the left wing and out. Bouncing puck Catalyst. D-to-D for Tho. Tho will shovel it into the offensive zone. Gottlieb scoops up the puck. Taps it back across the rink, but all the way down, and it's going to be icing on Fort Wayne again. 16 minutes left in the third period. Shout out to our creative department during that last bit. Having Green Day's Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. Next on the playlist. Perfect timing. Those guys are the best in the business. I got to say, that's the best 90s song. I think that represents the decade, especially being the nostalgia of 90s night here at Wings Event Center. So got to give a little love there to a song that really defined a decade, in my opinion. A lot of people just know it as Time of Your Life, but of course called Good Riddance by the band Green Day. Kalamazoo in the offensive zone here. 3-3 goes off the skate of Sandler. Poke check by Munson. And it's scooped up by Jenks, led out to center ice. Jenks took a big hit from Brennan Sanford. Didn't like it much either, but now a shot the other way is blocked in front of Kiley and never made it to the K-Wings goaltender. The net did come crashing off its moorings behind Kiley, and so they're going to bring the face-off outside the zone, as they'll say it was Bowden's, I think, who knocked it off its moorings. Again, Jenks was not pleased about the hit. Brennan Sanford laid on him at the Fort Wayne blue line. Jenks is known to throw his weight around with the best of them as well, so sometimes getting a taste of your own medicine doesn't feel too great. And Brennan Sanford, 10th forward tonight for Kalamazoo, dished it out. Remember, Sanford was the player knocked out of a game in November in Fort Wayne by Chase Stewart. Similar play, almost identical, in my opinion, an open ice hit that was clean as ruled on by the league. Chase Stewart hitting Brennan Sanford as the one that Dejan Mingo put on Brady Shaw. Now, you never like to see a player get hurt, and both Sanford and Shaw were injured on the respective hits, but by rule, I think it was clean. Unfortunately for Fort Wayne, Shaw is out of the lineup. Hopefully he returns soon. Sanford missed over a month with that hit from Stewart back in November. Puck's way down in the Fort Wayne zone. 3-3 with 15:10 left in the third period. Lobbed out into the neutral zone. Elliott will play a D-to-D for Fry. Back across for Sanford. Right wing, it's Ross. Taken off his stick by Galipeau. Shot back to center for Łyszczarczyk. He couldn't quite catch it cleanly as it was behind him. And now on the right wing, Ross continues to work against Torrel. And Torrel's able to kick it back to his defense. D-to-D, it's Doherty. Up the right wing for Binkley. Binkley gave it away to Fry. D-to-D, it's Elliott. Up the right wing, it's Van Voris, and it's deflected in around the Fort Wayne net. Taylor chases after it, knocks it away from Galipeau. Centered for Malone. Shoots, he scores! Welcome to Kalamazoo. Seamus Malone has his first, and the K-Wings are in front. Taylor with the battle one behind the net. Took it away from Galipeau. Found Van Voris, who tapped it out front to Malone, and the patience to pick his spot after Munson committed. Malone puts the K-Wings back into the lead, 4-3 with 14:36 to play. Time of the goal, 5:24. And in his first game in Kalamazoo, Seamus Malone has a 2-point night. It'll be Malone from Van Voris and Taylor at 5:24. So the top two lines for Kalamazoo, each with 2 even strength goals. And we talked about it at the Open tonight. These teams coming into this game had each scored 22 5-on-5 goals against each other. About as even as it gets. The difference in this season series, which is why the Komets have won 6 of 9 coming in, was their power play, which has been lethal, over 40% against the K-Wings. But tonight, 5-on-5, Kalamazoo has 4 goals, Fort Wayne has 1. Power play, Fort Wayne is 2 for 3. It's a 1-goal game with 14 and a half minutes to play. Malone from Van Voris and Taylor at 5:24. Back in the Fort Wayne zone again. Behind the net, Rymsha has his man wrapped up and hauled down. The battle continues, but the puck comes up the right wing and out. Lifted off the glass by Aaron Tho. Scooped up now on the right wing and pushed down into the Kalamazoo end by Gabriel Verpass. He'll hammer Aaron Tho into the back wall. Catalyst knocks it into the corner, but Łyszczarczyk was waiting for it. Now behind the cage is Tho. Tho leads it up the left wing and out past Verpass. This will go all the way down, but it slows up and icing is waved. As Chaz Redekop collects it, circles his net, and feeds it across for Verpass. Gabriel Verpass, check that, Anthony Petruzzelli now into the zone, circles the net. Petruzzelli tried to center one instead, it comes to the point. Redekop with it, left point now for Fort Wayne. Down into the corner, Bowdens cycles it in behind the cage. It's A.J. Jenks, who had the 3rd Fort Wayne goal. Former Toledo Walleye. Had it poke checked off his stick by Ross, and it's flipped across the rink, but scooped up again by Max Gottlieb and dumped into the Kalamazoo end. Now a quick touch pass across the seam for Sandler. Sandler will throw it across the rink. It's Ross on the left wing. Back door now. It's deflected in front, broken up by Galipeau. Intended for Ganley, who was cutting to the net. 13-12 remaining here in the third period. 4-3 Kalamazoo, the go-ahead goal from Seamus Malone. Now a turnover in the neutral zone by Fort Wayne as Bowdens gave it to Ross, and Ross shot it back in. Carried out by Galipeau. Poke check by Fry at the K-Wings blue line. And Gottlieb has it now in his own end for Fort Wayne. He's pickpocketed by Garrett Ross. Ross has it knocked off his stick to center, though, and Mitch Elliott has to recover away from Baylis. Plays it D-to-D for Fry. Fry nudges it up the left wing for Ganley. He's stood up by Doherty. They collide. They continue to go back and forth. Brought in by Justin Taylor. The trailer on the play was Malone, who lost his footing, but it's brought in by Elliott. Right corner. Sharp angle shots blocked off the back leg of Galipeau. Here is Van Voris at the right point. Sweeps it into the corner. Broken up that time by Galipeau. Pressure put on at the half wall. Good pinch on the play. And there's a penalty coming up on Fort Wayne as Van Voris was dumped after keeping the puck in the zone. He was tripped up, and Kalamazoo's going to go back to the man advantage. Olivier Galipeau will go to the box at 7:44 the third for tripping. Timeout on the ice. Seamus Malone with 2 points in his K-Wings debut, fresh off his stint in Utica where he played in 28 games for the Komets. Malone has the go-ahead goal. 12:16 to play. K-Wings to the power play after this on AM 1660 The Fan.
Develop explosive power, speed, and agility at one of Athletic Mentor's high school power sports camps. Our top drawer soccer, volleyball, football, and basketball camps help young athletes hone their skills and kick up their performance. Our coaching style is unique and multidimensional. We train young athletes for optimal physical, psychological, and nutritional condition. Take the quantum leap and train with a mentor. Check out our camps at athleticmentors.com. athleticmentors.com.
When you need a job now, WSI Staffing can help. WSI has immediate work opportunities on all shifts for manufacturing, production, packaging, warehouse, and hospitality roles. You'll earn up to $15 an hour and get paid weekly. Heck yeah! Learn more and apply at WSItalent.com. Start working today and start earning a paycheck tomorrow. WSI, it's working perfectly.
Kalamazoo up 4-3 here with 12:16 left in the third period thanks to the go-ahead goal from Seamus Malone in his first game in Kalamazoo. Matt Van Voris was tripped up by Olivier Galipeau moments ago, causing the penalty to be called on Galipeau. K-Wings on their third power play. They are 0 for 2 as it's dumped all the way down by Taylor Doherty on the kill. In behind the Kalamazoo net, Kylie stops the puck there. Mitch Elliott will leave it. And he'll get the puck back now from Aaron Tho as Elliott works his way to center, rips it across the rink, and Garrett Ross taps it back to Farley and back over to Elliott. To the right wing side, Lear will have to chase it down in the corner. Jenks gets to it first, sweeps it in behind his net. Kalamazoo 0 for 2 on the Culver's power play so far. Lear gets the puck free. At the half wall is Elliott. Mitch Elliott into the right wing circle, down to the corner. Elliott goes in behind the net, forced back by Verpass. On the right wing, Farley, saucered into the circle, Lear up top, Tho scores! Aaron Tho blasts it, and it's a power play goal with 11:32 to play. 5-3, Kalamazoo has their biggest lead of the night. Aaron Tho will pick up his 5th goal of the season and the 3rd he has scored on the power play this year. The fans are roaring now here at Wings Event Center. 11:32 to play. The K-Wings have scored 2 in the first half of the frame to take a 5-3 lead. Farley with the saucer to Lear. Lear up top for Tho. Tho ripped it over the blocker of Munson, top shelf. Another point for Farley, his 3rd of the game. Another point for Lear, his 3rd of the game. And Kalamazoo has a 2-goal cushion with some insurance. 1 for 3 on the Culver's power play now. 8:28, the time of that goal. The puck goes in around the Fort Wayne net, and we're going to get another penalty here, and this might be coincidentals as there was a lengthy battle in the corner, but I think Rymsha and Sandler are both going to their respective penalty boxes. Luke Sandler to the Kalamazoo penalty box, Drake Rymsha to the Fort Wayne penalty box. 2 minutes each for roughing. And they're not done yet, still chirping back and forth. They actually gave 2 minutes each for cross-checking at 8:47 of the third officially. 5-3 Kalamazoo. Seamus Malone with the go-ahead goal. Aaron Tho with the power play goal. Putting the K-Wings in front by a pair here at home against their Central Division rival. They've had some good battles with this year. That is just the 6th power play goal in 42 opportunities this season against Fort Wayne, whose penalty kill coming in against Kalamazoo this year, 87.2%. Face-off will go to the right of Patrick Munson. They're fixing something on the scoreboard. The penalty time to Galipeau is still up there, but obviously with Aaron Tho's goal negating the rest of that time, now it's 2 minutes each, and we'll skate 4-on-4. Face-off to the blocker side of Munson, controlled by Tho, but it bounces off his stick. He'll chase after it in the neutral zone, and he drops it off for Catalyst, who works his way up the right wing. Eric Catalyst into the offensive zone, leads it down in behind the net. Catalyst reverses it up the boards. It's poke-checked and brought out to center by Gage Torrel. Torrel into the Kalamazoo end. He drops it off to Galipeau. Quick shot saved by Kylie. The puck bounced up into the air. Collision at the net with Catalyst and Torrel, but the puck is worked back out to center by Seamus Malone. Into the offensive zone. Malone dangles. Left circle, stays with it. Malone to the half wall, all the way to the point. Had it knocked away by Torrel. Tho back in the neutral zone, finds Malone inside his own blue line. 10:30 left in the third period. 5-3 Kalamazoo. They've picked up at least a point in 6 of their last 7 games, including a 3-2 win Wednesday against Kansas City. Carried to center by Farley with speed. His pass was broken up at the blue line, and it's offside, bringing everything back out into the neutral zone with 10:14 left in the third. This season series, this is the 10th game between these two teams out of 14. Every game has been high scoring. The lowest scoring game in this season series was December 28th, a 3-2 overtime win for Kalamazoo. 5 combined goals is the fewest out of the 10 games in this season series. We're at 8 right now. 5-3 Kalamazoo at the midway point of the third. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone, turned over and brought ahead by Mitch Elliott. On the right wing, goes wide into the corner, drops it off for Matt Van Voorhis. Elliott was dumped in the corner and is slow to get back to his feet. As the puck's fed across the seam for Szydlowski and back into the Kalamazoo end. He saucers it over. Here is a shot, tipped, and a save by Kylie. And celebrating on the play as the light went on. It was waved off initially, but Chaz Redekop took the shot. It went off of a Kalamazoo stick into the equipment of Kylie. And now they're going to review it, and Fort Wayne might have just closed the gap down to 1. On the 4-on-4 situation with 31 seconds left on the penalties to Sandler and to Rymsha, it looks like the Komets might have made it 5-4 with 9:44 to play. Our replay system went down recently, up in the press box at least, but the official league replay still works, and they might look at it on the iPad down at the scores table. The light did go on behind Kylie, and Redekop was celebrating the goal, which would be his first in his first game with Fort Wayne. It was waved off initially, but it will be waved off. No goal. So I'm not sure if it didn't fully cross the goal line, but they didn't even look at it at the scorers table. So it will not be a goal. And maybe it was just a jump of the gun by the goal judge turning the light on. Here's the overhead cam, so this will give us a good view. Oh, it did go into the net. So Fort Wayne is now calling for video review as they just showed it up on the video board. And perhaps they waved it off because the whistle had blown too early. If it was a quick whistle in the equipment of Kylie, then there's not much they could do about it. And that's the description right now, I think, in the conversation that Cameron Fleming is having with Ben Boudreau. There's no doubt the puck went into the net and the light went on. But if the whistle was blown early, there's not much they can do to review it, and that would be a really bad break for Fort Wayne, and Kalamazoo would love that. Up by 2 goals with 9:44 to play. So the ruling will stand. That's why they never looked at it on the video review. The whistle had blown before the puck crossed the goal line, and much to the chagrin of the Komets, the score will stay 5-3. So Kalamazoo continues to lead by a pair, but understandably Fort Wayne upset on the quick whistle, and Kalamazoo now has to work to try to protect this lead because they got to believe the Komets are going to channel that frustration and to try to come back into this game. Bowden's wrapped up by Edmondson. Bowden's gets free at the half wall. To the point, Jenks snapped his stick in half on the shot, has to head off for a new one as it's scooped up by Diamond Tony. 12 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Jenks has a new twig. Brought through center, Zach Diamond Tony gets around a poke check. Lobs it down in around the Fort Wayne net. Redekop's the first one there. Tied up by Diamond Tony. And now Verpass will feed it over to Redekop up the right wing for Jenks. Out of the box comes Sandler and Rymsha. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey again. Brought in by Redekop. Right wing circle. In the corner. They'll try to throw it up to the point. He's knocked down instead. It's cycled around the net on the left wing. Torrel behind the cage now. The Komets will continue to work to the point. Doherty fires one with some velocity to it, but it was a high riser sailing over the top of the net. At the left point, held in there by the Komets as that was Torrel. In behind the net, Wilson is chased on the play, drops it off for Edmondson, who's checked from behind on the back wall by Baylis, and then a shot from Doherty from the half wall is smothered by Kylie. With 8:34 to play here in the third, it's still 5-3 Kalamazoo. K-Wings with 2 goals in the first 8:38 of this third period. The go-ahead goal from Seamus Malone, the power play goal from Aaron Tho. Malone's first in his first ECHL game, and Tho's 5th of the season. Fort Wayne looked like they closed the gap to 1 moments ago, but on a quick whistle, the puck went in after the whistle. And so they did not review it for that reason. Lobbed out to center. Van Voorhis hustles after it. Gottlieb tied up by Van Voorhis. Now there's going to be a penalty on Van Voorhis here. It's touched up, and the Komets will go back to the power play, hooking the call at 11:40. Van Voorhis doesn't like it, but that's not going to change the call, and Fort Wayne's going to get their 4th power play. They are 2 for 3 on the man advantage, and everybody just holds their breath over there on the Kalamazoo bench. Face off to the right of Kylie. So Van Voorhis for hooking. And the number 2 ranked power play in the ECHL that has twice the percentage against Kalamazoo than they do overall on the season goes to work for the 4th time. They are 2 for 3. Again, over 45% converting on their power plays against the K-Wings in 10 games. Brought through the middle of the ice, right wing, it's Gottlieb. Down into the corner, throws it behind the net, left wing, Bowdens. It's poke-checked up to the line, and Sandler knocks it out to center. Fort Wayne will regroup in their own end. Anthony Petrozelli works his way back to the corner, throws it over to Szydlowski out to center ice. Across the seam, Jenks couldn't catch it cleanly, and it's knocked back out into the neutral zone again quickly by Tho. 7:38 left in the third, 1:15 remaining on the penalty to Van Voorhis. Gottlieb turns in his own end, feeds it over to Szydlowski off his skate though, and Tho will knock it all the way down as Kalamazoo will change all 4 penalty killers. Good first shift on this kill. 1 minute left on the penalty to Van Voorhis. Brought back out to center by the Komets. Right wing, it's Drake Rymsha. Stops at the half wall. Rymsha challenged now on the play by Diamond Tony. The puck is deflected off a stick, and it goes out of play, and it's going to be a delay of game call on Kalamazoo, as they'll say Taylor played the puck. He did not just simply deflect it. He played it, and it went over the glass and into the stands. So Fort Wayne will have a 50-second 5-on-3. 7:10 left in the third period. Time of the penalty, 12:50. The Komets power play, as if they needed any more assistance, now have a 5-on-3 for 50 seconds. Taylor for delay of game. 5-3 Kalamazoo, but the Komets now have a 5-on-3 for 50 seconds. And luckily, off of a tie-up on the draw, Catalyst, I think, got a piece of it as it went outside the zone back into the Fort Wayne end. Szydlowski weaving through the middle of the ice. Catalyst, the 3rd defenseman out there, will play center on this 5-on-3 kill. Szydlowski, left circle, down low to the corner. Movement for Fort Wayne, circling the zone, and a backdoor pass from Rymsha. Hopped over the stick of Łyszczarczyk, who will catch up to it in the corner. Tried to go back to the point, chases both players of the line. Szydlowski somehow kept it in. 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Galipeau over to Szydlowski, fires, kick save made by Kylie. Back over to Szydlowski again, top of the left circle. Szydlowski, Galipeau, Szydlowski pump fakes, rips it up high, and it's blocked and wound up out of play. It was deflected on a blocked shot. Szydlowski wanted another delay of game call, but they'll say it was on the follow-through of a blocked shot that knocked it out of play. That would have been a disaster for Kalamazoo if it would have been another delay of game call. 6:26 left in the third period. There's 6 seconds left on the penalty to Van Voorhis. 1:16 left on the penalty to Taylor. After Farley's late second period goal, he gave himself an applause. It was that nice. He said, "You guys don't have to this time. I got it." That tied it at 3 late in the second period that they just showed up on the video board. K-Wings clear it. That's going to do it for Van Voorhis' penalty. And it's now a 5-on-4 for 1:08 seconds. A huge kill for the 50 seconds of the 5-on-3. Now Fort Wayne's 2 for 4 tonight on the man advantage, but still a minute left on their 5th penalty or power play. Brought in now across the line by Bowdens. He'll go wide into the corner and behind the net, chased by Tho. Bowdens angles it up to the half wall for Szydlowski. Szydlowski looks for a passing lane, went backdoor, but Łyszczarczyk couldn't quite get a handle on it. In behind the net is Jenks. Back to Łyszczarczyk, left corner. Up top now, Galipeau will get it at the blue line, and he could not keep it in. Offside is the call. 5:47 left in the third period. 37 seconds left on the penalty to Justin Taylor. Kalamazoo with a 5-3 lead. 2 of Fort Wayne's 3 goals tonight have come with the man advantage. They're 2 for 4. They nearly scored a fourth goal earlier in this third period, but the whistle had already blown before the puck trickled across the goal line. And the Komets have 37 seconds left on this fifth power play. On the draw, it's won by Kalamazoo and played all the way down by Ian Edmondson. Edmondson had the second K-Wings goal tonight, his third of the year. Galipeau, right wing Rymsha, goes wide, fires, save Kiley, rebound hops straight up into the air, stays in play behind the net. Battle continues, and the K-Wings come away with it as Van Voris will work it all the way down. 15 seconds left before Taylor comes out of the box, 5:20 remaining in the third period. Carried back out to center by Olivier Galipeau, right wing, it is Redekop. Down into the corner. He's got Galipeau with him, behind the net, chased by Diamond Tony. And out of the box comes Taylor. Here's a shot from a sharp angle, saved by Kiley. The shot taken by Gage Torrel. And we have our final media timeout of this hockey game. We'll come back and take you all the way to the finish after this. The K-Wings have a 5-3 lead, just killed off a 5-on-3 power play. And we'll be back at even strength when we return. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Ever wish you could visit Italy but just can't afford it? Don't worry. Jasper's Pizza and Fine Italian Food will be your tour guide as you go on a culinary tour of Italy. With the best ingredients shipped straight from Italy, Jasper's made-from-scratch sauces, pastas, and pizza won't disappoint. Jasper's, located at 5190 Gull Road, is the place to go for all your pizza and pasta needs. Jasper's has been in business since 1977 and still serving the great food today.
Make sure you stay up to date on what's happening with your Kalamazoo Wings during the team's 46th season by following us all year on social media. Like the Kalamazoo Wings hockey page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Kalamazoo Wings. Don't miss out on all the K-Wings breaking news, events, contests, prizes, and behind-the-scenes content. It's the year of the fan, so make your K-Wings moment today.
This is defenseman Ben Wilson, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
5:04 left here in the third period. Wings Event Center, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The K-Wings have a 5-3 lead over the Fort Wayne Komets. Shots even at 28. John Peterson back here with you on AM 1660 The Fan, and ECHL TV will take you all the way to the finish. Face off to the left of Jake Kiley in the K-Wing zone. It comes up to the point. Diving to try to clear was Leary. Couldn't do so on the first try, but it's swept out to center by Zach Fry on the second effort. Fort Wayne in their own end, lifted up the right wing by Gottlieb, pushed into the circle by Petruzzelli. A.J. Jenks has it poke checked off his stick by Elliott. Those two battle for it back in the neutral zone where Elliott lost his stick. Here comes Gottlieb right back in on the right wing. He's got Bowdens with him, and this pass was broken up, and it's going to be a penalty here on Kalamazoo for tripping, I think. Lear went down to break up a centering pass, and they're going to give Fort Wayne their sixth power play. They're 2 for 5, and now they'll get opportunity number 6. Face-off will come in front of Kiley. Gottlieb worked his way in on the right wing there, took a hit from Fry, but then Bowdens, who tried to toe drag, lost the puck actually, and Lear went down to break it up. And eventually, Bowdens tripped over Lear, and they call Lear for the trip. 15:23, the time of the penalty. And the Komets power play just keeps getting more practice. They're 6th. Face-off won by Kalamazoo, and Ben Wilson blasts it all the way down. Without the power plays tonight, this could be a blowout by the way the score shows, but these two teams always play each other pretty close 5-on-5. Tonight, Kalamazoo's dominated 5-on-5. Fort Wayne is dominated with power play opportunities and 2 power play goals. And now it's brought in and shot wide by Łyszczarczyk. Far corner, Rymsha. Up the right wing, it's kicked ahead for Taylor, and he's got it pinned at the half wall right now. Scooped up by Łyszczarczyk in the left corner, wrapped around the boards, up to the right point. Galipeau gets there in time to keep it in. At the half wall's Torrel, bouncing puck in open ice, and Sandler sweeps it all the way down. 3:45 remaining. Taylor took a stick up high, and nobody saw that one, and he'll stay out there to try to kill this one off. A minute left on that penalty to Lear. Dumped into the Kalamazoo end. Catalyst is the first one there. Reverses it. Stepping up, though, was Gottlieb to keep it in deep. Knocked down by Catalyst. He'll lift a backhander off the glass and out. Good precision on that one. That's the short glass. You miss by 6 inches, and it goes over for delay of game. But he caught the top part of the panel. And now just 40 seconds left on the penalty to Lear. 3:14 remaining in the third. 5-3 Kalamazoo. Fort Wayne through the neutral zone. Szydlowski had it hop his stick, and it shot all the way back down 200 feet. Ian Edmondson. Stopping it behind his cage is Munson. Behind the net, carrying it out is Gottlieb. Right wing Szydlowski racing through and into the Kalamazoo end where he slows things down, top of the circle. Tries to reverse it to the point. It caught the skate of Sandler. Szydlowski gets it back at the half wall. Gottlieb at the point. Through a screen, a shot save made by Kylie. Rebound is knocked out of the zone again by Edmondson. The penalty will expire to Lear in 2 seconds, and Fort Wayne will be 2 for 6 on the power play after starting this game 2 for 3. 2.5 minutes to play. Dumped down in behind the Kalamazoo net again. Verpass has his man wrapped up. Here's Boston Lear working to escape up the left wing. Lear will chip it in, and Sanford will hustle after it to beat the icing. He's checked by Doherty behind the net. Scooped up and played back out to center again as it's dumped in from center. And Verpass will be the first of the puck behind the Kalamazoo net. Gabriel Verpass, also part of that Kelly Cup winning team in Colorado a couple years ago. Bouncing puck is knocked back out to center by Elliott. This will go all the way down, but it'll slow up, and icing is therefore waived as Doherty has it now. Misfires on the clearing attempts. Sanford putting the pressure on. It goes across the rink. Seamus Malone will chase in after it behind the net. Verpass reverses it to the left wing side for Baylis. 1:40 left in the third. Munson calling to the bench. Is it time? Still looking to get a signal from his bench. Fort Wayne was offside at the Kalamazoo line with 1:36 to play, and this might be the time for Munson. 5-3 Kalamazoo. Fort Wayne looks like they may pull Munson here or wait till they win this face-off to see if they can get possession in the offensive zone or at least dump it into the offensive zone first. Both coaches have their timeout. Ben Boudreau, former assistant of Fort Wayne to Gary Graham, took over as head coach this season, his first year as the bench boss, son of Minnesota Wild head coach Bruce Boudreau. Nick Bootlin, 12th year head coach of the Kalamazoo Wings. Neither coach uses their timeout. We continue. Szydlowski in across the offensive blue line. Here's Bowden's, a shot gloved by Kylie. He pounces on the rebound, and then barreling in after was Bowden's, and he and Wilson are going to get into it at the side of the net. And I don't think we'll see any penalties out of this one, but with 1:24 left, now Munson is starting to pull himself for the extra skater. He will creep towards the Fort Wayne bench here. And is this the time? Ben Boudreau uses his timeout. Kalamazoo with 2 goals here in the third. Seamus Malone, who has a 2-point game in his first ECHL game, had the go-ahead goal and is in line for the game winner if the score holds. Aaron Tho with the insurance goal, which was a power play blast from the point. Kalamazoo's only power play goal in 3 opportunities. The timeout is called by Ben Boudreau, and both teams will gather around the whiteboard. The goal scorers tonight for Fort Wayne, Alan Łyszczarczyk started things off. The only goal of the first period, his 14th from Olivier Galipeau and Gage Torrel at 4:41. Boston Lear tied it 20 seconds into the second period, his 9th of the season from Austin Farley. Ian Edmondson put the K-Wings in front with his third at 11:58 of the second period from Matt Van Voris and Seamus Malone. Fort Wayne tied it at 12:55 of the second from Stephen Baylis, his third. Jason Binkley and Drake Rymsha with the assist. And A.J. Jenks put the Komets back in front with a power play goal at 15:14, his 14th goal of the year from Sean Szydlowski and Max Gottlieb. Austin Farley beat the buzzer, 25 seconds left in the second period with a breakaway goal at 19:34, his 5th unassisted. And in the third, Malone and Tho have the 2 K-Wings goals to put us into this position we're in now, where Kalamazoo will try to protect the 2-goal lead. Fort Wayne has their goaltender out for the extra skater. Munson's at the bench at 6-on-5. K-Wings have Justin Taylor facing off against A.J. Jenks. 84 seconds left here at Wings Event Center. Łyszczarczyk at the half wall corrals it and looks for a passing lane. Łyszczarczyk to the point. Galipeau Back to Łyszczarczyk, left circle, down to the goal line now. Szydlowski, back to Łyszczarczyk, he scores. He ripped it on the give and go, left circle. It's 5-4 with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. And that worked perfectly for Fort Wayne right out of the timeout. So it is a 1-goal game with 1:11 to play here in the third period, and everybody creeps closer to the edge of their seats. Second of the game for Alan Łyszczarczyk. His 15th of the year. Glove side over Kiley on that give and go. Reversal from Szydlowski behind the net. He picks up another point. And now a center ice faceoff will put Patrick Munson back in his net for the moment with 71 seconds left, and it'll feel like the longest 71 seconds for these fans in now a 1-goal game. Zach Fry carries it into the offensive zone for Kalamazoo, who won the draw, rips a backhander on goal, gloved by Munson. He keeps the play alive as there was no whistle. 1 minute and 5 seconds left here in the third. Now down to 1 minute, and Munson will go to the bench. Thrown into the slot, given away. Launched to the empty net, all the way down and wide, and this will be icing on Kalamazoo with 53.4. Fry thought it was deflected. He was arguing that it went off a Komets stick, but he won't get his wish as the faceoff will be in front of Jake Kiley on the icing. 6-on-5, empty net. Łyszczarczyk from Szydlowski and Galipeau at 18:49 for Fort Wayne, by the way. 5-4. Munson at the bench, 53.4 seconds left. 5-4. The puck squirts to the point, held in by Galipeau, and the Komets get set up. Down low, Szydlowski on the goal line. Circles the net. Szydlowski puts on the brakes. Stick handles behind the cage, looks for a lane, had it knocked away. Back to Szydlowski on the back wall. Wraps it back around to Łyszczarczyk. Up to the point, Galipeau with 35 seconds. Fires through traffic, it's blocked in front by Taylor. Knocked up to the point, Van Voris. And he'll shoot it out to center, and everybody's got a tag up in orange. Brought back in by Rymsha on the right wing. Puts on the brakes, and he misfired. He split the defense back out to center with 20 seconds left, and the Komets have to regroup at their own blue line. Galipeau, left wing, Szydlowski. 12 seconds left, and now the countdown begins. 10 seconds. Oh, they're going to call a penalty as Szydlowski was tripped at the blue line with 6 seconds left, and now back and forth, some pushing and shoving, but why not give him a 7th power play with 6 seconds remaining? On zone entry, and he sold it, and Justin Taylor will clap his way to the penalty box. Keep in mind that this game could be tied because Fort Wayne did appear to score earlier in the period, but on a quick whistle, it was waved off. But boy, oh boy, with 6 seconds left, they're going to call Van Voris, actually, not Taylor. And so Fort Wayne will have a 6-on-4 power play for 6 seconds, and the face-off to the right of Kiley. 6.4 seconds left. Van Voris for tripping. 7th power play for the Komets. Jenks, Catalyst are the two centers. They drop the puck. They tie up for it. It comes free to Petrozelli. To the point, DDD. Galipeau shot. Saved by Kiley with 1.2 seconds. The whistle blew. Kiley got rid of it, but another quick whistle. And there'll be another face-off in front of Kiley. Kiley's hopping around, upset. He got rid of the puck quickly, and the play was whistled down. But again, not a lot of room to be too upset about that one given the earlier events here in the third. Kalamazoo's bench hopes to erupt, but there's 1.2 seconds and a massive face-off here to the left of Kiley, but Fort Wayne has to act quickly to get a shot off in time. Nick Butlin is irate, screaming at Cameron Fleming, not only for the penalty call with 6.4 seconds, but he's still going at Cameron Fleming right now from the Kalamazoo bench. 1.2, face-off to the left of Kiley. They dropped the puck, that's it. It was lifted out of play at the horn. It would have been a delay of game, but Kalamazoo wins it. We saw it all tonight. 5-4 the final, a regulation victory for Kalamazoo. They are now 8 points out of third place in the Central Division standings, and 7 points behind Indy, 5 points behind Wheeling, but we have some scores to report in a moment. And right now, Coach Bootland and Cameron Fleming still going face-to-face as the teams go down their respective tunnel. That got nasty there at the end with what unfolded, but Kalamazoo will get the victory, 5-4 the final. Third period tonight brought to you by Athletic Mentors. We'll come back with our post-game show presented by CSM Group. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660 The Fan. CSM Group is a national project management company with roots in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Since 1983, CSM Group has been leading the construction industry with their extensive safety practices, planning, and execution of all sizes. CSM Group employs over 100 construction professionals and hosts operations in 26 states as well as in Canada. They have market-focused divisions in healthcare, food and beverage, industrial manufacturing, education, and corporate facilities. For all your project needs, be sure to call CSM Group at 269-746-5600.
Positivity. It's more than a saying. It's the driving force behind our health system. It's in our employees, our providers, our patients. It's in the choices we make to improve healthcare for you and the ways we work together to advance the health of our community. At Bronson, we live positivity because positivity is what inspires us to go above and beyond. Find out what it can do for you at bronsonpositivity.com or follow us on Facebook.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plant. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com.
How many people listening right now have a huge opinion on Western Michigan, Michigan State, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Wings, and more? Well, you can voice your huge opinions weekday afternoons between 3 and 6 p.m. on The Huge Show right here on AM 1660 The Fan in Kalamazoo. You can also drop your opinions 24/7 at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you tune in weekday afternoons to my show, The Huge Show, right here on AM 1660 The Fan.
A hard-fought victory tonight for the Kalamazoo Wings. They had to play from behind twice. They did so. They ended up getting a 2-goal third-period lead. Got a little bit of help, but then that help was basically reversed late, and they held off a Fort Wayne comeback effort where the Komets did score 1 goal with the goaltender pull to make it 5-4. The K-Wings were able to get the victory. But they needed all 60 minutes tonight, and lots of players stepped up big for Kalamazoo in the win. They have now picked up at least a point in 7 of their last 8 games, including 5 victories. That's back-to-back wins at home since returning from this 6-game road trip.